A young man with a resolute expression thinks of the word disgusting, which echoes repeatedly in his mind, emphasizing his intense feeling. A girl with striking eyes believes she is hated by the person she likes as the word disgusting lingers around her thoughts, creating a sense of rejection. Gao Ran introduces herself, describing her background as ordinary and mentioning her appearance as typical. She faces the world with a straightforward demeanor. While standing on a bus, Gao Ran reflects that the most unusual thing about her is her height, which stands out in her otherwise ordinary life. At 180 centimeters tall, Gao Ran sees her height as a lifelong challenge. The memory of hitting her head serves as a daily reminder of her struggle. After a bump, Gao Ran, embarrassed and sitting on the floor, requests a cup of milk tea. Nearby, two men react in surprise, noting her unusual height. On the street, a passerby wonders if Gao Ran is an athlete. Later, she lies curled up in her bed, unable to fully stretch her legs, showing how her height impacts daily life. Gao Ran faces another difficulty. She must bend down to see her reflection due to standard height mirrors. Such adjustments are part of her routine. While shopping, Gao Ran is disappointed that a charming outfit doesn't come in her size. Her friends laugh with her, sharing the moment of failed expectation. Gao Ran mentions that her friends often hold her arms when they go shopping together, displaying a sense of camaraderie and support. Xiang Hong, Gao Ran's best friend, stands out for her expressive language. She is noted for her height of 160 centimeters and her two common expressions of "oh" and "so." While shopping with Xiang Hong, Gao Ran admires something cute. Xiang Hong, known for her sweetness and popularity, draws attention wherever she goes. In a moment of surprise on a subway, Gao Ran suddenly notices someone significant, her expression showing her unexpected reaction. Gao Ran nervously realizes the presence of Zhang Yang, whom she identifies as a significant figure in her life, causing her restlessness. Standing near Zhang Yang, Gao Ran secretly wishes for time to stop, feeling fortunate for this moment with her dream crush. Gao Ran discusses with Xiang Hong about another blind date arranged by her mother, finding it troublesome and burdensome. Xiang Hong finds the prospect of the blind date amusing and persuades Gao Ran to accompany her, applying pressure through playful insistence. Although Xiang Hong seems eager, Gao Ran clearly expresses her reluctance and lack of desire to attend the blind date. At the event, Xiang Hong is questioned by a friend about her outfit choice. Meanwhile, she confidently assures that the purpose will soon become clear. As Zhang Yang arrives, Gao Ran is startled and blushes, recognizing him once again in an unexpected setting. Gao Ran is bewildered by Zhang Yang's presence at the blind date. The surprise leaves her questioning why he is there. Lin Fan, introducing himself to Xiang Hong, also presents Zhang Yang as his friend, setting the scene for the encounter. Xiang Hong, unimpressed, firmly tells Lin Fan she isn't interested. Lin Fan appears confused, questioning her rejection. Gao Ran, troubled by the scene, confesses she isn't interested in men, causing Lin Fan to express shock and disbelief. A small humorous character appears, reacting with exaggerated surprise to the unfolding revelations and dynamics. Zhang Yang clarifies to the group that Gao Ran is his girlfriend, using the phrase handsome butch to describe her confidently. Xiang Hong expresses disbelief about Gao Ran being called handsome. Zhang Yang dismisses the need for Gao Ran to pretend, reinforcing his statement. Gao Ran, feeling troubled, repeats the word disgusting internally, emphasizing her turmoil. Zhang Yang's presence seems to be the trigger. The word disgusting echoes repeatedly, symbolizing Gao Ran's internal struggle and the overwhelming sense of displeasure she feels. A girl confesses to Zhang Yang, expressing her feelings and asking him to be her boyfriend. Zhang Yang responds affirmatively, saying he's been waiting for her. The girl is surprised and asks if he's serious. Zhang Yang declares she is his girlfriend and promises to love her with all his heart. The girl feels incredibly happy, finding it unreal and reflecting on finally being in a romantic relationship. They laugh together, but the girl suddenly pauses and notices Zhang Yang's height, commenting that he's now taller than her. In a different scene, a girl urgently calls for Zhang Yang's help while standing on a cliff's edge. She pleads with Zhang Yang not to leave her, but he responds dismissively, calling her disgusting. The girl wakes up, realizing it was just a dream, reflecting on her relief. She recalls a confrontation from yesterday where someone's rude behavior upset others, leading to accusations and frustration. The girl thinks back to how her first encounter with Zhang Yang led to misunderstandings. Worried he considers her a loser now, she wishes for a chance to explain herself to him, thinking of a way to clear the confusion. At work, she cleans windows with a colleague, discussing the annoyance of spills and expressing gratitude for the help. She wishes to become a quiet girl, observing a handsome boy from another company while nervously cleaning. Startled, she slips from the stool. The boy looks on in surprise as she nearly falls. She lands on top of him with a thud, finding the situation painful and shocking. She apologizes, asking if he is okay. The boy sarcastically comments on her size, making her blush in embarrassment. A girl reflects on an embarrassing moment from yesterday when she fell on a boy. She nervously wonders how to ease the tension, contemplating whether to explain what happened or admit her feelings for him. The boy, Gao Ran, is standing and thinking about making a decision. He acknowledges the boy's handsomeness and worries that others might pursue him if she hesitates. The boy offers to help the girl stand up, and she is touched by his gentle demeanor. She hopes he doesn't remember the incident from yesterday and considers it a chance to confess her feelings. The girl hesitates, feeling shy and uncertain about confessing her feelings, but she responds politely, saying she is fine and thanking him for his help. The girl decides to pretend she doesn't know him and starts to run away, but the boy recognizes her, which surprises and embarrasses her. The boy is pondering something and is then instructed to go find her. As he considers what to do, it seems like he becomes thoughtful, noticing something. The boy spots a phone and realizes it likely belongs to Gao Ran. This discovery is significant, as he appears to have a moment of revelation. Reflecting on her bad luck, Gao Ran is upset that she fell on the boy and questions why such unfortunate things happened to her. At her desk, Gao Ran feels it must be painful and that she is likely disliked again, but her friend enthusiastically calls her name. Her friend excitedly discusses a guy they met yesterday who turns out to be from the company next door and whose name is Chong Yang. Annoyed by him, her friend vows to take revenge for upsetting her by kidnapping his dog. The friend laughs wickedly about her revenge plans, but shifts gears to ask Ran to go to the mall with her after work, changing the topic. Gao Ran seems contemplative as another scene begins at the mall, leading into their shopping trip. At the mall, her friend enthusiastically suggests an outfit for Ran to try on, curious about her excitement levels that day. Her friend compliments her sense of style from yesterday and suggests a neutral style might suit her. Ran worries she might be mistaken about her fashion sense. Her friend encourages her to try the cool style occasionally, noting that it might charm both boys and girls, much to Ran's surprise. Jokingly, her friend assures her she was just kidding about being attractive to girls, and they decide to take a selfie together, sharing a light-hearted moment. While discussing the selfie, Ran realizes her phone is missing. Her friend reassures her she'll try to call it as Ran becomes worried. Her friend calls the phone, and Zhang Yang answers, saying he found Ran's phone. However, the friend immediately insults him, demanding he return it. Zhang Yang recognizes the friend's loud voice from mocking them before. He tells her he intended to return the phone, but now expects an apology before doing so. Upset, Ran's friend refuses to apologize, while Ran insists on wanting her phone back despite the friend's nonchalant attitude towards losing it. Her friend humorously suggests buying a new phone, but Ran is frustrated because the situation has escalated beyond just the loss of her phone, worrying Zhang Yang might know her feelings. Surprised, her friend accuses Ran of liking Zhang Yang, leading Ran to question her unlucky luck. The scene shifts to Zhang Yang, who is holding a drink and looking contemplatively at something, revealing more of the unfolding connection. The girl questions why someone would like a certain guy, who she describes as having a bad personality and being very short. Another girl sitting with her asks when she started to like him. A brunette girl argues that the guy isn't short, just not that tall, and warns she'll be angry if the other keeps saying that. Meanwhile, the pink-haired girl wonders aloud how the guy will manage to kiss her if even she is taller than him. The pink-haired girl contemplates with a sense of guilt and regrets how she treated the other girl recently. She feels sorry about the events of yesterday. The brunette is enthusiastically suggesting guys to the pink-haired girl, pointing out one who is tall and would be a perfect match. The pink-haired girl dismisses the suggestions, insisting that she wants her phone back. Her friend reassures her that they'll get it back. The brunette offers to help find an opportunity to fix the situation and make up for the previous incident. The pink-haired girl is reminded that they just had an argument, but the brunette is determined to help. The pink-haired girl contemplates the actions she needs to take for lifelong happiness and considers making a sacrifice. A third person warns her, but she confidently says she knows what she's doing. The scene shifts to the next day at the exhibition center. At the exhibition center, a crowd marvels at the stylish people, suggesting there might be a catwalk show. A girl in the crowd wishes she could fit into their world and wonders how Seong Hong managed to get a talk with Zhang Yang. A girl sitting alone reflects on how long it has been and realizes Zhang Yang, who is a staff member, must have arranged her appointment here. She is frustrated and doesn't want to speak to him ever again. The pink-haired girl angrily tells Zhang Yang not to follow her, finding it annoying, and insists on leaving with her friend. Seong Hong apologizes to her and offers to buy dinner, while questioning why they are always quarreling. One of the event organizers calls for models to come over quickly. A crowd gathers and confusion is shown as the organizer addresses them. Someone protests they are not a model, but the organizer dismisses it, insisting they get dressed and wanting to know if the shoes arrived. A girl questions if anyone is listening to her as she gets swept up in the model preparations. She appears to be turning into someone glamorous amid sparkles. In a backstage setting, a stylist compliments the girl on how good she looks with makeup. She jokes about her height with high heels, and another person tells her to move aside as they're still getting ready. The girl reflects on being mistaken for a model, finding the dress lovely even though she's never worn anything like it. She's content with making the best of the situation. Despite feeling out of place, she's somewhat happy for the adventure to go along with the special occasion. As she's about to step onto the runway, someone encourages her, telling her it's just a walk she can easily handle. The audience is captivated by her height and anticipates her performance as she appears poised on stage. She internally panics as she walks, overwhelmed by the sheer number of people in the audience. A spectator recognizes her, wondering why she's here, indicating she is known to him. The girl tries to calm herself, reminding herself it's only a walk on stage. Meanwhile, the audience looks on, curious about her actions. Observers note her lack of modeling experience as she awkwardly navigates the stage, focusing on her movements. Despite the discomfort, she internally vows to finish the walk even though she feels the pain. She continues, determined to complete the task. The audience laughs as she struggles, while behind the scenes someone requests to explain the situation to a director. Exhausted and embarrassed, she worries about being laughed at. She considers fleeing the stage due to foot pain. A boy approaches her, offering her tissues for her nosebleed as she apologizes for being unable to stand up. He picks her up, and she is shocked to realize it's Zhang Yang carrying her off the stage. The girl feels surprised as she is being carried by someone named Zhang Yang, while another person comments on Zhang Yang's impressive strength. She wonders about his identity, clearly amazed by the situation. A conversation occurs where someone chastises another for not knowing it was Zhang Yang's show. It's revealed that Zhang Yang is the design director of the brand. Observers in the audience discuss how Zhang Yang is frequently taken care of, expressing surprise at the situation. The setting shifts to a calm corridor as someone seems to be moving through it. A shoe-clad foot is shown making noise as it steps, hinting at someone's hurried approach. The girl apologizes to Zhang Yang, feeling she is too heavy to lift. Zhang Yang, bent over, asks her how she can be so heavy. There's a sense of embarrassment in the girl's apology. Zhang Yang is confronted about starting the show without someone. The blonde woman criticizes him, questioning his actions and the perceived disrespect. The blonde woman continues her tirade, expressing gratitude for being invited despite her importance. She insults Zhang Yang for replacing her with someone she deems foolish, expressing disbelief at his choice. Zhang Yang counters, calling her disgraceful for her lateness. He defends the other girl, calling her better than the blonde despite her criticisms. He mentions the blonde's artificial appearance. The blonde, addressing someone as director, expresses outrage at the situation, revealing they paid a lot to have her there. She threatens Zhang Yang's future in fashion for insulting her. As the blonde leaves, Zhang Yang calls her spoiled. The girl, sitting on a couch, is impressed and questions if Zhang Yang just defended her. She reflects on the moment with admiration. The girl feels unexpectedly happy despite thinking her day would be unlucky. She contemplates the unexpected turn of events with optimism. Zhang Yang asks the girl 2 questions. Intrigued, she wonders why he is present. explaining the chaos and misunderstandings earlier. Zhang Yang then questions why she took a photo of him. The girl appears startled by the inquiry as Zhang Yang leans in closer, creating a tense moment. The girl hesitates, struggling to articulate a response. She recalls how Zhang Yang defended her earlier when she sprained her ankle, adding to her conflicted emotions. The girl thinks Zhang Yang must view her favorably and considers confessing her feelings. She contemplates taking advantage of the moment to kiss him, feeling it's the perfect time. Nervously, the girl begins to explain the photo, but her focus is interrupted by the sound of Zhang Yang's phone buzzing, cutting off her words. Zhang Yang briefly excuses himself to take the call. The girl, left sitting on the couch, expresses frustration, questioning the identity of the caller. Hearing Zhang Yang address someone as babe over the phone, the girl is shocked. She wonders about this new revelation and Zhang Yang's unusual tone for the conversation. Zhang Yang reassures the person on the phone, proposing they go home together to talk. The girl ponders if Zhang Yang has a girlfriend, feeling uneasy about the implication. Deep in thought, the girl questions whether Zhang Yang indeed has a girlfriend, disturbed by the idea and what it might mean for her feelings. Zhang Yang ends the call with affection and indicates he has something to do. The girl appears conflicted, reacting silently outside the door. Startled by an unexpected noise, Zhang Yang witnesses the girl falling. He curiously asks what she is doing as she sprawls on the floor. The girl explains her fall embarrassingly, mentioning her sore foot while trying to find the dressing room. Zhang Yang comments on her knack for falling. She then humorously mentions her interest in men's clothing, initially saying she took the photo because she liked his outfit. Zhang Yang, however, suspected her motives earlier. As the girl prepares to leave, Zhang Yang suggests getting a cab to take her to the hospital, showing concern for her injury. She declines, dismissing it as minor. Waving goodbye, the girl assures Zhang Yang she can care for herself. Zhang Yang stands by, contemplating why the situation feels like a breakup, speculating it may be due to the weather. As Zhang Yang mulls over his emotions with the rumbling sky in the background, a scene reveals the girl, drenched in rain. She laments not expecting Zhang Yang to have a girlfriend and questions her attraction to him. The girl continues to walk in the rain, pondering why she feels so upset. She rationalizes she should have expected this, yet her emotions betray her understanding. A child notices her and comments on her visible misery, attributing it to romantic disappointment. The girl reflects on her emotional pain, likening it to experiencing a breakup despite never being with Zhang Yang. The emotional toll becomes evident as the girl continues to cry in the rain. Her thoughts voice the irony of feeling heartbreak over an unfulfilled relationship. An unexpected gesture interrupts her solitude as a hand reaches out with an umbrella, offering her shelter from the rain and acknowledging her tears. A girl notices someone and asks if they're crying. The person she's talking to, wearing a red jacket, looks thoughtful as rain falls around them. A boy stands with an umbrella while a girl is seated on the ground. She refers to the boy as Zhang Yang and wonders why he's there. The boy tells her he's not crying, just resting because his foot hurts. He points out her phone, and she realizes she nearly forgot it. She mentions coming to get the phone. As he lifts the umbrella, she accidentally becomes a model due to his observation, and he starts modeling behavior. They talk under the umbrella. He asks about her height. She tells him she's 180 centimeters. He says he needs to return to work and offers the umbrella. Even though she hesitates, he insists she take the umbrella, expressing it's unsuited for him to hold it, and urges her to take it. The girl walks away, contemplating the word unsuited, and looks for a taxi. Inside, medical supplies are shown along with her bandaged foot, implying she's treating an injury. Drying her hair, she calls someone named Xiang Hong, saying she's in a bad mood and asking for company. Xiang Hong agrees, asking where to meet. At a karaoke bar, the girl sings and expresses sadness over a love that wasn't reciprocated. Her friend laughs, acknowledging the changes since she left. Xiang Hong insists men mean nothing and highlights their friendship, encouraging her to drink and enjoy the night. The girl appreciates Xiang Hong's support. The group cheers together, agreeing to get drunk and enjoy the night, creating a lively atmosphere. As they leave, they agree on the need for more relaxation due to work stress. A mother and daughter are seen nearby, leading to curiosity. Ran and her friend notice the elegant mother and daughter, remarking on their beauty and perceiving them as wealthy. They admire the mother and daughter's outfits and dream of fitting into such clothes someday, imagining their future elegance. Suddenly, a robbery occurs nearby, shocking everyone present. The pink-haired friend is outraged at the thief's audacity and recalls her partner's likely response to call the police. She acknowledges the delay police response would cause and starts taking off her jacket, preparing to act. Determined, she decides to chase the thief herself, stunning her friend with her decision. Someone declares their intention to pursue another individual, confidently stating they will catch them. A girl with pink hair observes another girl running swiftly, noting her impressive speed. As the speedy girl rushes forward, a surprised young man questions who she is while holding onto his hat. The young man realizes he's about to be caught and starts to run faster, clearly worried. The speedy girl catches up with the man, demanding that he hand over the bag he's holding. The man notices that his pursuer is a girl and is surprised by her boldness, holding a knife in his hand. A pink bag is involved in the confrontation and the girl threatens violence if the man uses the knife, indicating that someone named Ran is important to her. A girl with pink hair assists, using her bag as a weapon, and praises its effectiveness while one of the girls mentions holding the man down. The speedy girl turns away, feeling nauseous and expressing a desire to throw up. She crouches on the man, who is now subdued, while two onlookers comment about the thief being caught. Another group asks if there was a robbery, commenting on the boldness of thieves as the scene is observed with some surprise. The pink-haired girl expresses her gratitude, mentioning important papers in her bag and stating her dislike for thieves. She also admires the helper's beauty up close. A young child admires the helper's speed, mistakenly thinking they are a boy, to which the helper clarifies she is a girl. The captured thief is led away, mocked for being caught by a girl. The helper seems contemplative as another person warns them not to interfere in their matters. The girl with pink hair offers to exchange contact details to express gratitude, and her companion suggests it might not be necessary. As the scene shifts, the helper is thanked again and encouraged to join them, while a compliment is overheard about the group being good kids. Upon returning home, a child announces their return and is questioned by an older man about being late. Alarmed by the news of being robbed, the man looks worried but is reassured as they explain the situation, mentioning a big sister who helped. The child excitedly describes the helper as the most handsome big sister and admires how quickly she caught the thief, likening her to a knight. Skeptical, the older man doubts anyone could be handsomer than him, questioning the child's admiration. The child, however, insists that the helper can indeed be more handsome, impressing the man with her honesty. In a different setting, a man reflects on his relationship with someone he refers to as his boss, wondering why he experiences fear despite his position. In a company meeting room, a man with blonde hair sits thoughtfully while considering another person's extraordinary abilities. He thinks about how the entire company relies on him, practically worshiping him like a god, but he seems troubled by this realization. The blonde man reflects on his fear of offending the person with extraordinary abilities who always has a strong aura around him. Despite this, he feels the need to address the person since their actions have gone too far, angering a significant figure. He decides it's time to teach him a lesson. The blonde man resolves to establish who the boss is and who gives orders, feeling determined. He approaches Zhang Yang, who is absorbed in his phone, and clears his throat to catch his attention, addressing him as boss. Zhang Yang attributes a past incident involving a model to himself, taking responsibility. However, a character defends him, explaining that the model was late and said something inappropriate, implying that Zhang Yang is not to blame. The character reminds Zhang Yang of his promise to press down the issue, highlighting the company's significant investment in the model. Zhang Yang quietly acknowledges he shouldn't have acted impulsively. Meanwhile, the blonde man eagerly admits that he spent money on the incident, but Zhang Yang reassures him not to worry, indicating it wasn't too costly. Zhang Yang decides to manage the situation, ensuring the upcoming big event won't be delayed by the model's departure. He plans to find a replacement for the vacancy and excuses himself from the meeting, effectively taking charge. Zhang Yang shows frustration, while a character animatedly talks to him, trying to explain what happened previously. Zhang Yang listens, though visibly irritated. A girl excitedly recounts an encounter with a thief, insisting she needs water before detailing her story. Meanwhile, another girl with blue hair complains about foot pain, noting it's swollen from the incident. A girl reflects on chasing someone during the thief incident but struggles to recall specifics. She remembers someone taunting her about being tall and tomboyish, which upset her. The girl confirms the words spoken during the incident, recalling her reaction to the insult. Her friend vividly reenacts how she responded with determination, emphasizing her use of high heels in defense. Another friend tries to engage the reflective girl, mentioning how well they cooperated together. The girl is caught off guard, unsure how to respond as someone unexpectedly calls out "babe" from a nearby doorway. A boy walks in the rain, holding an umbrella, and decides internally that it's time to give up on Zhang Yang. The girl watching him feels unsuited to keep the umbrella and reflects on her feelings. The girl, feeling emotional, recognizes the boy she likes doesn't return her feelings. Another girl recounts their graceful handling of the previous situation and prompts her friend, Ran, who seems distracted. Gao Ran decides to wait for her friend Xiang Hong in the restroom, declining an invitation to lunch. She appears calm, ready to join later. A girl in a striped dress is seen talking to someone off-panel, admiring his handsomeness as she says goodbye, leaving Zhang Yang stunned by the compliment as he catches a glimpse of her departing. Gao Ran is suddenly surprised and shocked when she sees someone unexpected enter. Her shocked acknowledgement suggests the person's presence is significant. She wonders if the visitor is there for her, trying to understand their intention while experiencing a mix of emotions. Zhang Yang appears, startling a girl who yells in surprise. Xiang Hong quickly urges Ran to leave with her, concerned about a potential confrontation between Zhang Yang and another person. A girl looks for someone, animatedly imagining a snake and crocodile. Zhang Yang appears determined, adjusting his shirt in anticipation of dealing with the situation. Xiang Hong wonders what Ran is doing as she finds Ran hiding, peeking from behind an object. Zhang Yang's presence looms in the background, adding tension to the scene. Zhang Yang unexpectedly trips and falls onto Ran, creating an unexpected and awkward moment with Xiang Hong watching in disbelief. Zhang Yang, leaning over Ran, interacts with her while Xiang Hong decides to leave, feeling awkward. Zhang Yang and Ran share a quiet moment, seemingly caught in realization. Zhang Yang queries Ran about her actions. She apologizes, explaining she was worried about potential conflicts if he met another person, indicating her concern for him. Zhang Yang expresses a desire to talk and urges Ran to join him, hinting at a personal conversation. Ran shows a slight blush, curious about the topic. Ran speculates on Zhang Yang's intentions, wondering if he possibly ended a relationship and plans to reveal his feelings. She finds the idea too good to be true, skeptical about such a possibility. Zhang Yang straightforwardly addresses Ran, discussing a mistake made with a hired model and handling the situation. He insists on filling the vacancy and hopes Ran is the right choice for the role. He mentions needing a model, and although the opportunity is unexpected, he expresses his wish for Ran to take the position. Ran is taken aback, contemplating the surprising offer. Ran considers the prospect of modeling but is unsure about the suggestion, thinking it's a facetious idea due to her perceived shortcomings while overhearing comments mocking her height. Confronted with the proposal, Ran declines Zhang Yang's offer, feeling apprehensive and unsure despite the opportunity presented. The girl asks the boy why he chose her, expressing doubts about her appearance and runway skills. She doesn't want to draw attention to herself anymore. The boy assures her he has a reason for his choice, suggesting that despite her reservations, she has potential. He explains that her natural features align well with the theme of their clothing, and he promises to train her into an outstanding model. He tells her about the benefits like good pay and fame, and encourages her to consider it. She is surprised at the offer of personal training. She quickly jumps to the conclusion that being around him is impossible because he has a girlfriend, stating her decision is a definite no and apologizing for it. The boy seems disappointed but accepts her refusal, remarking on the unfortunate outcome. He hands her his business card, leaving the opportunity open for her to contact him if she changes her mind. The girl resigns herself to the fact that they won't be in contact anymore. She tries to encourage herself to stop dwelling on unrealistic thoughts when someone recognizes her from the previous day. The blonde woman acknowledges the girl, noting that she works there. The girl is confused, but the blonde woman is surprised she doesn't recognize her and perceives it as pretense. The blonde woman belittles her appearance yet questions why she was asked for cooperation, hinting at her own recognition of the girl's qualities. The girl tries to leave, but the blonde woman isn't done speaking, feeling ignored. With frustration, The blonde woman grabs the girl, warning her about the consequences of upsetting her and Zhang Yang. The girl questions the threat towards Zhang Yang, trying to understand the woman's intentions. The blonde woman hints at upcoming trouble for Zhang Yang, suggesting the girl will find out after work, leaving her worried about his fate. The girl wonders about the blonde woman's potential actions with Zhang Yang as the scene shifts to a meeting room. In a meeting, thanks are given to Lu Fei for another chance, discussing future cooperation conditioned upon one request being fulfilled. The condition involves replacing Director Zhang to ensure Lu Fei's satisfaction at work. Lu Fei makes a sarcastic comment regarding social experience, hinting at arrogance, which Zhang Yang challenges calmly. Zhang Yang jokingly inquires about her name again, causing her frustration. There's a sense of awkwardness among the others. Zhang Yang expresses uncertainty about his welcome, suggesting he should be informed once a decision is reached. Unexpectedly, Zhang Yang finds the girl seated outside and questions her reason for being there. She internally wonders if he is at risk of losing his job, speculating on her concern for him. Inside, a raised voice declares Zhang Yang is vital to the company, dismissing any notion of replacing him and asking them to leave with payment intact. The girl seems relieved by the outcome, noticing the ongoing meeting about future cooperation and the importance of Zhang Yang. The authority figure implores not to be pressed further as they are a significant model agency and won't refund the money. Commenting on the falling out, one acknowledges the refusal to continue business, also stating the refund will not be issued, and they leave together. Outside, Zhang Yang confronts the general manager about his sarcastic remarks, considering a halt in cooperation possibly beneficial. Zhang Yang assures that he will handle matters, revealing he has a model ready for their next showcase by next month. As their paths cross again, the girl respectfully greets the general manager with warmth and familiarity. After finishing work, the office workers happily notice that it's finally time to leave. One of them suggests going for dinner, marking the end of their duty. A character with pink hair addresses a white-haired character, expressing a lack of personal preference but acknowledging respect for Rand's decision, indicating an acceptance of circumstances. The pink-haired girl requests Zhang Yang to take good care of Rand. She passionately insists on treating Rand well, while Zhang Yang mentions a conversation about leaving together after work every day, which seems to elicit a strong reaction. The girl comments that someone is very nice, and Zhang Yang acknowledges their closeness. He then shifts the conversation to Rand, asking about her foot's current state. Rand confidently declares that her foot is healed and she's ready. She suggests beginning their special training after dinner, showing her determination. Zhang Yang, with a sense of urgency, instructs Rand not to eat without permission in the future. As they move, he warns her about the limited time they have and prepares to share important information. Zhang Yang stresses his intention to be very strict, and Rand eagerly agrees to try her best. He mentions the convenience of using the empty training room at night for private training sessions, signaling readiness for their practice. As they enter a room, Rand is surprised by the number of people present. Observers, intrigued by a handsome figure, wonder about his company affiliation, showcasing curiosity and admiration. A red-haired individual seen exercising captivates attention. Someone admires his physique and muses about wanting a boyfriend like him, reflecting infatuation. The charming red-haired man greets the crowd with a friendly gesture, and everyone is charmed, admiring his sweetness and expressing a desire to date him. Among the admirers, Zhang Yang reacts to the crowd's excitement, seemingly in acknowledgement of the red-haired man's attractiveness. Zhang Yang shouts out the red-haired man's name, causing him to panic in confusion. His expression is one of surprise and distress as he considers running away. As the red-haired man contemplates escape out of the back door, Zhang Yang appears, observing from a distance. They exchange glances, marking a coincidental encounter. Zhang Yang confronts the man, questioning his half-naked presence there instead of being back in his hometown. The woman accompanying Zhang Yang greets the red-haired man, introducing an unexpected interaction. The girl wonders about the red-haired man's identity, comparing his charm to Zhang Yang's. The red-haired man, identified as Dong Lu, introduces himself in a manner that endears him to her. The girl introduces herself as Gao Ran, sensing that Dong Lu might be looking at her with interest. She internally advises herself to avoid getting charmed by him, aware of the situation's nuances. Zhang Yang questions Dong Li's presence again, asserting protection over Gao Ran. Her heart races at Zhang Yang's protective gesture, leading to feelings of admiration for him. Dong Lu observes Gao Ran's blushing reaction, interpreting it as a possible interest. The situation triggers more thoughts and speculations about the potential dynamics between them. Dong Lu feels challenged by Zhang Yang's disregard and acknowledges his maturity over the years. He nervously admits his fault and suggests an explanation, hinting at underlying issues. Zhang Yang insists on a concise explanation from Dong Lu, emphasizing the need for clarity and resolution, creating a tense but urgent atmosphere for the conversation. A week ago, Lu is lounging in bed with a couple of ducks resting on him. Someone calls him to get up for breakfast. Lu then comments on the delicious smell, asking if it's duck soup. In the kitchen, someone remarks on Li's sharp sense of smell, given their abundance of ducks. Lu, sitting at the table, confirms that he knew it was duck soup from the scent. During breakfast, the elder comments that no one can cook duck as well as they do, while another agrees. Lu points out that although the dish is simple, it requires careful selection of ingredients, suggesting an old duck is best. Lu elaborates on eliminating the fishy smell of a duck by using one over a year old. He mentions that the number of radishes depends on the duck size and varies with the radish size. Continuing to discuss duck seasoning, Lu describes it as the dish's main element, implying high standards. He concludes that duck cuisine is sophisticated, acknowledging that it truly is. Suddenly, someone bursts out in frustration, expressing boredom over the duck talk and overturning a table. Lu inquires about what's wrong, to which the person calls him a brat. The man questions whether Lu intends to raise ducks forever, urging him to consider other aspirations. He advises him to head to the city, find a job, and start pursuing a career. Feeling sympathetic about past hardships, the man reassures Lu his health has returned, relieving concerns about the farm. He encourages Lu to explore the world and not confine the family to duck farming. Lu decides to return to the city where he once sought education, determined to make something of his life beyond the duck farm. In the city, Lu encounters difficulty securing employment due to his lack of a diploma, leading to nights spent sleeping on a park bench. As Lu drifts deeper into thought, he wishes he could open his own shop, imagining the possibilities of setting up his business. Lu considers using his duck cooking skills to run a popular shop, dreaming of establishing a successful chain if his father wishes for him to achieve something substantial. First, he muses he must earn sufficient funds. Lu stumbles upon a job advertisement that requires no educational background, offering a glimmer of hope. Excitedly, he decides to give it a shot. After applying, Lu is approved and meets someone for the first time, expressing hopes for future cooperation and requesting guidance. Reflecting on his journey, Lu mentions that these events have led him to his current situation. He stands shirtless before two listeners, explaining the backstory. A conversation unfolds as the two question Lu on who sent him. Pointing to a figure, Lu identifies the individual as the one instructing him on the catwalk, mentioning the general manager's involvement. Impressed, Lu comments on his friend's status as a coach, suggesting he must be earning considerably well now. The friend acknowledges this understanding. Lu nervously hopes his friend won't recall a 500 yuan debt as they remember the power and influence the friend held in the school and district. Reassuring Lu, the friend promises he shouldn't be frightened, stating he has changed from the past. Intrigued, a female character queries if the old Zhang Yang was very different from now. He instructs her to stand against the wall briefly before stepping away. The female character expresses excitement about being future classmates with Lu, who realizes the request to put on clothes first before joining. Meanwhile, the group marvels at Zhang Yang's connection to Company X. Lu jokes about knowing the company's director, who infamously angered a prominent model, Lu Fei, and let her go. They humorously question the decision. Amid the laughter, another character insists they begin training, with Lu agreeing. In the background, others wonder about a towering new girl close to the two charismatic men. In a quieter moment, the girl whispers Zhang Yang's name, expressing her struggle to continue before Zhang asks if it's already time for a break. The girl finds stretching painful and admits she can't hold the position any longer. The white-haired man comments on her slacking off quickly after he leaves. The girl tries to defend herself but is told to keep her leg straight. Her leg, still outstretched, claps to the floor. A red-haired guy asks the girl if she's okay and if she can stand up. She reassures him, saying she's fine while sitting on the floor. The red-haired guy, looking sympathetic, stands up to the white-haired man, telling him not to be rude to a girl. The white-haired man questions what business it is of the red-haired guys that he's teaching his girl. The girl, surprised, wonders internally if she is his girl. The red-haired guy, taken aback, insists that it's a matter of principles, remembering how he was told he was different before. The white-haired man challenges the red-haired guy's flexibility. As he tries to demonstrate, the white-haired man grabs his leg, causing him to shout and accuse him of lying about changing. The girl finds the situation horrible as she observes the exchange. The white-haired man asks her if she hasn't figured out the situation. The white-haired man questions the girl's dedication to leg pressing and reminds her of her competition. A blonde woman is showcased as her competitor, leading to contemplation. He comments that her appearance cannot match the competitor's enhanced looks. However, he assures her that she can win with her temperament. The white-haired man stresses the need for her to have a striking temperament that leaves a lasting impression, making sure she understands its importance for success. Apologizing, she acknowledges her mistake and requests for his guidance, accepting that she was too lenient with herself. The red-haired guy asks the taxi driver to send her home safely, warning about a robbery he experienced previously which concerns the girl. The red-haired guy reassures her that he lives nearby and doesn't believe anyone would rob someone like him. Curious, the girl asks if he's worried about her. Reflecting on her simplicity, the red-haired guy concludes that she's a nice girl. She also finds herself pondering over her competition. The girl recalls the question about knowing her competitor, which revisits her mind. Meanwhile, someone asks a nearby man to turn around. The white-haired man, working late, observes the strange inconsistency in temperature, noting how he feels unusually cold. Deciding he should head home, he wonders why the training room light is still on, suspecting he turned it off earlier. As he enters, he sees the girl who might have practiced all night. He reflects on how he initially invited her to be a model. Despite how difficult the journey has been, she expresses gratitude and determination, assuring Zhang Yang that she can do it. Zhang Yang acknowledges the need for warmer clothes due to dizziness from the cold, while the girl admits her awareness. Suddenly, the girl collides with Zhang Yang, leaving her in a state of bewilderment, questioning what just happened. She finds herself with Zhang Yang in her arms, surprised by the situation and uncertain of how it unfolded. Flustered and convinced she's dreaming, she realizes Zhang Yang is indeed burning up with fever. Concerned, the girl urges Zhang Yang to wake up, worried about his sudden unresponsiveness. A girl named Gao Ran is concerned and calls out to Zhang Yang, asking if he is okay. Gao Ran is trying to wake Zhang Yang up, urging him not to scare her by being unresponsive. Gao Ran is thinking about how it's time for artificial respiration, considering her next move. There is tension as Gao Ran moves closer to Zhang Yang, and her heart is beating fast. She imagines Zhang Yang saying he will do it himself. Zhang Yang is asking Gao Ran not to make him perform a certain action, while her heart continues to pound loudly. Gao Ran chastises herself, realizing it's not the time for daydreaming. Gao Ran reassures Zhang Yang, telling him not to be afraid as she plans to take him to the hospital. As Gao Ran carries Zhang Yang, she notices how thin he looks and is surprised by how strong he feels, thinking he must exercise a lot. Gao Ran internally acknowledges that Zhang Yang's strength is just as she imagined, and then there's a sudden bang. A startled Gao Ran quickly apologizes for the unexpected incident. As Zhang Yang awakens, Gao Ran is relieved, expressing how scared she was when he passed out. Zhang Yang, confused, wonders why he is at the hospital. Gao Ran explains that the doctor mentioned Zhang Yang has been overworking, leading to his fatigue and a high fever. Gao Ran informs Zhang Yang that she's already updated the manager about his condition, and he thanks her for her help. Zhang Yang reflects on his dedication to work, realizing he overlooked his own health as he feels a headache coming on. Gao Ran feels happy, recalling how Zhang Yang gave her his coat even when he was sick. Meanwhile, Zhang Yang offers to buy her millet porridge. A young girl runs towards the hospital entrance, calling out for her brother, Zhang Yang. Zhang Yang, in his hospital bed, asks the woman how she knew he was there, and she explains Mr. Guo informed her. The woman is concerned about Zhang Yang's health, questioning his carelessness, but he reassures her that he's better now. The young girl, worried about Zhang Yang's condition, asks if he will die, but he comforts her, explaining it was just a cold. Zhang Yang promises the little girl he won't leave them like their father did, urging her not to cry. Gao Ran quietly observes Zhang Yang's interactions, noting that his girlfriend is present. The woman offers Zhang Yang hot soup, and the young girl discovers millet porridge left at the door, curious about who left it. Zhang Yang is curious about the source of the millet porridge, mentioning a friend's involvement, and wonders if someone has left. A character questions a girl about her presence while another woman greets the general manager and asks for guidance. A woman reassures someone not to be afraid and promises to take them to a hospital immediately. A woman expresses relief and surprises waking up to someone, saying they scared her a lot. A waiter serves drinks and cheerfully notes that it's a good day. Two characters discuss a brother's unusually good mood, with one expressing surprise given his health condition. A woman comments on another character's emotional state, asking them to stop crying. A woman reflects on her thoughts, noting her past decision to give up. Another character greets her enthusiastically. A girl remarks on being startled by a friend's sudden appearance. The pink-haired girl is curious about what her friend was thinking so intently and comments on their long time apart, receiving a playful compliment in return. The friends express admiration and curiosity about a tall, handsome person who reveals his height. A woman jokingly proposes marriage to the handsome man, and he responds playfully about his family situation. Meanwhile, a bystander comments on his flirtatious nature. The pink-haired girl notices the handsome man again and comments on his appearance, while her friend internally observes this interaction. A man enthusiastically greets a woman named Ran and suggests attending a show to learn from others, which she agrees to. The pink-haired girl feels unusually short in the presence of others. The pink-haired girl inquires about a stylish, tall guy she notices, seeking information from her friend. Ran advises her not to be gossipy after noting a perceived match with Zhang Yang, clarifying their relationship status. The pink-haired girl insists that such possibilities are important and urges not to let opportunities slip away, with a friend acknowledging her point. The appearance of Lu Fei's agent catches attention at an event recognized by the audience. In the audience, two characters realize it's Lu Fei's show and express excitement about her greatness. A character reflects on not being a model before as they eagerly anticipate seeing Lu Fei in person. As the last carnival begins, the models showcase remarkable beauty and elegance on stage. Observing the models, a character admires their confidence and elegance and expresses a desire to be like them. Inspired, a character dreams of achieving the same grace and elegance as the models on stage. Amidst the excitement, a character struggles to see the main attraction due to the tall audience in front of them. The audience buzzes with excitement for Lu Fei's appearance, admiring her talent and beauty as she takes the stage. Ran feels self-doubt while witnessing Lu Fei's capabilities, sparking a strong desire to pursue modeling. Excited by the performances, a character dreams of reaching Lu Fei's level of greatness and sharing the spotlight with Gao Ran. The characters passionately agree to work together towards their goals, supporting each other's ambitions. In a moment of joy, Dong Lu embraces Ran, marking the first time she's been held by someone taller, making the moment special for her. Dong Lu apologizes for being overly enthusiastic, as his excitement might have been overwhelming for others. An anonymous figure in a cap and sunglasses questions the appropriateness of Dong Li's actions. The figure observes the scene attentively, focusing on Dong Lu and Ran embracing in the audience. The show concludes with a dramatic spotlight on the stage as the announcer expresses gratitude to the audience, marking the end of tonight's performance. Below, a young woman and a red-haired man sit in the audience, reflecting on how much they enjoyed the spectacle. The red-haired man suggests to the young woman that they head backstage to try and get Lu Fei's autograph. Despite the excitement, she hesitates and decides to wait, allowing him to go by himself. Left alone, the young woman sits eagerly with anticipation. She reflects on her gratitude towards Zhang Yang for introducing her to the modeling profession. She daydreams about becoming a star and blending into the celebrity circle quickly. Determined, she reminds herself to work even harder the next day. Just then, another woman notices her and questions her identity. The young woman is startled while a group of models nearby point her out, noting that she is the new model favored by Zhang Yang. One of the models mentions that the young woman attended the show to learn from her experience, although she implies that's not possible. Two other models discuss Zhang Yang, commenting on his impressive abilities and handsome looks. Their curiosity piques about who Lu Fei is, suggesting they investigate further. Approaching the young woman, one model addresses her directly. Meanwhile, a small group nearby notes the gathering crowd, wondering aloud about the commotion. One of the models criticizes the young woman's hair, suggesting disdainfully that her employer should hire a professional stylist for her. The criticism continues as another model questions her choice of attire, implying it's unfitting for a model. The young woman feels humiliated by their remarks. A vision of a snake encircles her, symbolizing the intimidation she feels from the blonde model. She recalls a pattern of being demeaned by her. The blonde model advises her not to be conceited, adding another layer to the cold remarks. Claiming authority in the modeling world, the blonde model challenges the young woman to compare herself in the mirror, demanding she pick up her belongings and leave. The red-haired man approaches excitedly, recognizing the famous model Lu Fei and expressing how thrilled he is to meet her face-to-face. He flatters Lu Fei, admiring her for being even more beautiful than her photos and asking for her autograph as a fan. Lu Fei dismissively asks who he is, annoyed by his interruption. Observing the exchange, two nearby models comment on the red-haired man's good looks. Lu Fei touches the red-haired man's shirt, advising him humorously to reduce his temperament. He, however, firmly tells her to let go. A group of bystanders compliments the models, who respond graciously. Meanwhile, the young woman moves closer to her red-haired friend, finding comfort in his presence. Alone in a dressing room, Lu Fei fumes in frustration, wondering why someone always aids the young woman. She vows revenge, expressing her determination never to forgive. A man with gray hair drives, consumed with thoughts he struggles to forget. Memories of the red-haired man and the young woman linger in his mind. Lost in thought, he suddenly faces an oncoming bus, creating a moment of intense shock and danger. The situation escalates as he swerves sharply, his car crashing dramatically into a nearby building, highlighting the peril he faces. A young man apologizes, admitting he forgot about the conflict between their company and someone named Lu Fei as he talks with a girl on the sidewalk. The young man takes responsibility, expressing he never thought Lu Fei could be a bad person, and apologizes for asking the girl to watch a show with him. The girl reassures him it's not his fault, while the young man contemplates if he should offer her a comforting hug. The young man opens his arms, conveying he is there for her, and the girl, surprised, calls his name, Dong Lu. The girl, feeling emotional, hugs Dong Lu, exclaiming that Lu Fei is very annoying. Dong Lu feels pleased, thinking to himself that the situation is perfect, but then turns his thoughts to Gao Ran. Dong Lu is startled by someone, prompting them to ask if he's alright and advising him to watch his step in the dark. The girl laughs at Dong Li's swollen face, finding it funny, as he crouches, while thinking to herself that she's a fat guy. The girl playfully tells Dong Lu not to make her laugh, and he mentions how relieved he is to see her smiling, concerned about her recent silence. She assures Dong Lu that she is not as fragile as he might think, dismissing the incident as just trivial matters. Gao Ran reflects on her childhood struggles with height, feeling teased and excluded, which made her feel inferior. She fears expressing her feelings to a boy because of her height, but feels inspired and motivated by the show she watched earlier. Expressing her passion for modeling, she feels liberated, with Dong Lu admiring her courage and appreciating her facing challenges bravely. Gao Ran, with a knowing smile, asks Dong Lu not to hug her anymore as she is not accustomed to it. Feeling confident, she realizes her height is meant for the stage, not to feel inferior, envisioning herself surpassing Lu Fei. Gao Ran confidently declares she will surely surpass Lu Fei. Another young man greets Dong Lu at the door, asking if he feels better. The greeter mentions he's fine and questions Dong Li's visit. Dong Lu, blushing, suggests going to their usual place to talk, claiming a shower issue at his house. During their bath, the white-haired man inquires if Gao Ran was publicly humiliated by Lu Fei, showing concern for her well-being. Dong Lu wonders if Gao Ran would lose faith, but admires how she instead found resolve and strengthened herself. His friend acknowledges Gao Ran's remarkable qualities, admitting a momentary admiration for her. The friend reflects on finding Gao Ran incredibly handsome. Skeptically, Dong Lu questions her handsomeness, while the friend feels they might have fallen for her. The white-haired man silently listens as Dong Lu complains about a director who offended Lu Fei. Dong Lu vents about the company struggling to find models due to the director's actions, expressing frustration. Piqued, the friend fiercely declares he'd take action against the director before firing him, prompting Dong-lu to ask what he means. Unexpectedly, the man reveals he forgot to introduce himself properly, claiming he's not actually a coach. He shocks Dong-lu by announcing that he is the director of his company. The director, standing calmly, questions Dong-lu about whom he intended to scold, leaving him surprised. The character is reflecting on the benefits of a hot spring bath they took yesterday. They are seated at a desk, considering how these baths help ease colds and feeling much better as a result. The red-haired character seems surprised and exclaims about someone else's actions, finding them extreme. They conclude by acknowledging that someone was right to kick this person out, sympathizing with the decision. Another character expresses that they would have reacted similarly, suggesting agreement with the previous character's actions. A knock at the door catches the attention of the character at their desk, who then invites the visitor to enter. The visitor entering the room is recognized as Gao Ran. They appear excited and are greeted by name. The visitor enthusiastically addresses the director, drawing attention perhaps to a new hairstyle, as indicated by the query about a perm. Gao Ran admits to getting just a slight perm at the ends and bangs and shares their plans to let the bangs grow out and part them down the middle. Responding to Gao Ran's new look, the character compliments it, calling it pretty. This seems to bring a blush of happiness to Gao Ran's face. Gao Ran confidently reveals that they have quit their previous job with the aspiration of becoming a professional model, requesting guidance from Mr. Zhang. The determination is clear as they look to the future. Mr. Zhang acknowledges Gao Ran's resolve, deciding to treat them as more than a mere layman from now on, and gives an approving smile. Promoting Gao Ran, Mr. Zhang declares them as his exclusive model, with an upcoming show in 2 weeks serving as their first test to becoming a professional model. Gao Ran seems taken aback yet determined not to disappoint. Enthusiastically, Gao Ran thanks Mr. Zhang for his belief and promises not to let him down. Mr. Zhang reassures them of his faith, encouraging them with belief. During training, Gao Ran struggles with walking steadily in high heels and ends up falling. Mr. Zhang points out the difficulty they are having. Disappointed by the fall, Mr. Zhang retracts his earlier encouragement, expressing skepticism about their abilities. Gao Ran shows determination, despite the critique. Gao Ran implores for trust, insisting that they just need time to adapt to the heels and will improve with practice. Concerned, another character checks on Gao Ran after the fall, inquiring if they were hurt. Gao Ran appears flustered by the close attention and asks to be let go, questioning the persistent embrace. Mr. Zhang introduces a balancing exercise with paper on Gao Ran's head, stressing the importance of maintaining balance. Compiling the practice, Gao Ran is tasked with keeping the paper steady for 5 minutes as a test of their improvement and focus. As the practice begins, a gust of wind seems to unsettle the paper. Gao Ran protests, blaming the breeze for the disturbance. Observing the challenge, Mr. Zhang feels unable to reprimand Gao Ran, showing a soft spot for them amidst the training difficulty. The red-haired character jumps in defensively, offering themselves as a target instead of Gao Ran, if necessary. Mr. Zhang admits having a desire to hit them for quite some time, humorously lightening the situation. Following the tension, the red-haired character quickly retracts their bold statement. Finally, Mr. Zhang suggests taking a break from practice. During the break, Gao Ran feels exhausted from the training, aware of how much effort they've put in. Mr. Zhang notices this and thoughtfully plans to provide them with some soda for refreshment. Mr. Zhang considers the awkwardness of directly offering a drink to Gao Ran and opts for a more casual approach. As he observes, the red-haired character hands water to Gao Ran. The red-haired character offers water to Mr. Zhang, noting the availability before realizing Mr. Zhang has his own. This interaction takes a light-hearted turn. Mr. Zhang watches the scene, seemingly irked by the red-haired character's actions but retaining control over his emotions. Someone shouts in frustration, questioning what is happening. The scene transitions to an open window with the view of a clear sky, immediately followed by the abrupt sound of clapping, suggesting an intense or urgent situation. A girl is kneeling on the floor while a boy stands sternly in front of her. He questions her inability to wear high heels, implying this has been an ongoing issue or challenge for her. The boy, showing a serious expression, reflects on how long they have been training. He's surprised she still struggles with heels despite passing every other test. The girl, nervous and anxious, expresses her disbelief, noting that the show is scheduled for tomorrow. A character with red hair intervenes, urging the white-haired boy to calm down since she is crucial, being the final model. An expression of urgency and apology follows as the situation appears tense. The red-haired character openly suggests an alternative approach, recommending shoes with chunky kitten heels for shopping purposes. This alternative is framed as practical, especially for those who dislike high heels. The thought processes of the white-haired character unfold, acknowledging the elegance of high heels but stressing the importance of finding shoes that match the clothes already designed. Time constraints are noted, emphasizing the need to focus on kitten heels. The red-haired character proposes a plan to assist the girl with a change into kitten heels and suggests a day of shopping with her. The white-haired character is shown contemplating the necessity of this plan, considering the repercussions of failure. The girl seems conflicted, sitting as the red-haired character heads for the door. She internally addresses Donglu, hinting at personal worries despite the outward situation. Comforting the girl, the red-haired character reassures her that kitten heels are versatile and suitable for anyone. Encouraged by the situation, he suggests going shopping to lift her spirits. As a tranquil scene outside unfolds, conversations hint at admiration for the towering and attractive pair, possibly referring to the characters engaged with each other. During a shopping trip, the red-haired character asks the girl how she finds her new shoes. She remarks on their comfort compared to previous ones, expressing satisfaction with the choice. Internally, the girl feels relieved, excited about showcasing her efforts the next day. The red-haired character suggests she explore on her own before he heads off to make a purchase. Approaching a stand selling marinated duck, the red-haired character contemplates trying it. He decides to buy one for the girl, Gao Ran, hinting at their developing camaraderie. Enjoying the duck, he considers his prospects optimistically, imagining opening a better shop given the duck's quality. But first, he acknowledges the need to earn money. Startled and concerned, the red-haired character reacts to a sudden incident involving the girl. She appears to have tripped, and he promptly checks on her well-being. The girl apologizes, explaining her unintended collision with a fruit stand. Her actions seem accidental, catching the attention of those around her. In a reflection, she ponders the implications of her inability to wear high heels, signaling deeper concerns about her situation and future. An elegantly dressed young girl inquires about directions at a counter. Noting her charm, the clerk provides clear instructions to reach her destination at K Company. Grateful for the directions, she wishes the clerk a pleasant meal as she leaves. While walking through the corridor, she questions why Zhang Yang personally trains Gao Ran. Overhearing a conversation, she realizes they speak of her brother, Zhang Yang. She is surprised to learn he chose to train someone personally despite having other competent models. In a locker room, two women discuss Gao Ran's connection to a handsome man, questioning her worthiness due to her perceived background. One of the women critiques Gao Ran's appearance, doubting her suitability. Yet, she admits that Zhang Yang seems fond of her, adding nuance to the scenario. The other woman playfully speculates on the possibility of romance between Gao Ran and Zhang Yang, suggesting it might be entertaining to observe them develop feelings for each other. The young girl is flabbergasted, grappling with the idea that another woman might be capturing her brother's attention, which causes her distress. The conversation begins with a white-haired character asking about Gao Ran's practice in kitten heels. The red-haired character responds, saying it's good but sometimes she might accidentally fall. The scenario shows the red-haired character worried about falling, much less in high heels, causing a comical reaction. The white-haired character seems frustrated, banging a table in apparent exasperation. The red-haired character wonders why they should be nervous, asserting that Gao Ran is the one who will be on the catwalk tomorrow, not them. The scene shifts as the red-haired character points at Gao Ran. She nervously suggests trying to fall more elegantly tomorrow, clearly troubled by the upcoming event. The white-haired character looks intensely towards the scene, questioning if Gao Ran is serious about the situation. Their demeanor suggests disbelief. The red-haired and Gao Ran characters both appear startled and overwhelmed by the situation, apologizing and seeking help. A cheerful character in a lilac dress enthusiastically greets her brother. The cheerful girl excitedly hugs the white-haired character, announcing she's there to see him. The red-haired character and Gao Ran watch with puzzled expressions. Holding the white-haired character's face, The girl instructs him to adjust his mood. He inquires why she is there, addressing her as babe. To the surprise of Gao Ran, the white-haired character explains that their mother sent the sister to bring soup, worried about his well-being. He then asks Gao Ran and the red-haired character to leave them alone. As they leave, the red-haired character sees the girl and finds her familiar. Gao Ran asks if she is indeed Gao Ran, adding to the confusion. The cheerful girl runs toward Gao Ran excitedly, calling her big sister. This surprising revelation is met with a startled reaction from Gao Ran. Reminiscing, Gao Ran recognizes the girl as the little one she helped, marveling at their unexpected meeting again. The girl recalls the event with joy, expressing how she thought they'd never meet again. Introducing herself, the girl reveals her name as Zhang Babe and clarifies her identity as Zhang Yang's sister, bringing clarity to the confusion. Gao Ran internally realizes that Zhang Yang's use of babe was not for a girlfriend but his younger sister, revealing a misunderstanding. She feels relieved knowing the truth. With a romantic notion, Gao Ran reflects on her feelings for Zhang Yang, expressing a newfound admiration, reaffirming her liking for him once more. Zhang Babe points out Gao Ran as the kind big sister who helped her before, highlighting Gao Ran's kindness. Zhang Yang questions the identity of the big sister, still processing the situation. Zhang Babe describes Gao Ran as the big sister that's more handsome than Zhang Yang. The white-haired character seems slightly offended by this comparison. Staring at the screen, he muses over Gao Ran's popularity and appeals, contemplating if she is considered more handsome than himself. Gao Ran confidently expresses the coincidence of meeting Zhang Babe, seemingly pleased with their unexpected encounter. Suddenly, a strict voice interrupts, asking if permission was given to speak, creating an uneasy atmosphere for Gao Ran. Zhang Babe mentions to her brother that if he falls in love with Gao Ran, she will support him. He looks at her intently while she whispers something to him. Confidently, Zhang Babe assures Gao Ran of her support if she likes Gao Ran. Gao Ran, surprised, playfully questions her statement. A different scene unfolds with a woman standing by a window asking if someone wants to see her, setting up a change in narrative focus. The scene continues with a man entering the room asking her to do something for him, implying a secret collaboration or request. The man smiles slyly, commenting on her penchant for creating trouble. Their conversation hints at a deeper scheme or plan in the works. Cutting to a mysterious scene, the man orders someone to stop stalling and follow his instructions, hinting at an ominous or secretive agenda. Late in the afternoon on the day of the big show, a grand building stands tall against a vibrant sky. The anticipation of the event can be felt as the scene is set for an important occasion. Inside, the atmosphere is bustling as a red-haired young man hurries through the venue, worried about being late. His sense of urgency contrasts with the calm and elegant setting of the lobby, where others are gathered. As he approaches, a man with red hair is spotted by a young woman seated nearby, who eagerly calls out to him. Her excitement is visible as she waves to get his attention. The red-haired man notices the presence of a well-known beauty, Xiang Hong, and is pleasantly surprised to see her there. Meanwhile, a white-haired man expresses his frustration at the red-haired man's tardiness in a blunt manner. The white-haired man acknowledges the impending start of the event and decides to check on someone named Gao Ran backstage, intending to reassure them before the show begins. The red-haired man and the young woman exclaim in disbelief at the white-haired man's arrogance, with the red-haired man promising to support Gao Ran if he is happy. Their reaction shows a mix of surprise and slight annoyance at his demeanor. Backstage, conversations among the models indicate some tension. One model comments on another's aloofness as someone passes by, implying jealousy over the other model's connection with the director and labeling her as clever. Dismissing the remarks, the person in focus remains unfazed, suggesting a belief in their own abilities. Meanwhile, the white-haired man appears, noting the increased gossip around him. As tensions rise, two women approach the white-haired director, seeking his attention. He advises them to focus on their performance, stressing the importance of the day's show, while the women express concern about their performance. One model, alone and focused, prepares herself mentally, repeating her intent to give her best during her performance, determined to push past any nerves. Zhang Yang finds her and offers words of encouragement, sensing her anxiety. The focus shifts to her as she takes a deep breath to steady herself, trying to remain calm under pressure. Zhang Yang gently reminds her that self-confidence is the key, which seems to resonate deeply with her, prompting a moment of introspection and determination. She reflects on Zhang Yang's words as he leaves, taking them as a personal mantra to regain her composure and prepare for the challenge ahead. Meanwhile, the photographers and audience express their anticipation for Gao Ran's upcoming appearance. Zhang Yang asks for silence, showing his confidence in her presence on stage. Facing her inner doubts, Gao Ran worries about her performance and the possibility of failure, recalling past fears as she approaches the stage. Her anxiety heightens as she remembers previous setbacks, fearing a repeat of past failures and desperately hoping for a different outcome this time. Memories of harsh criticisms and taunts from others flood her mind, intensifying her resolve to prove them wrong and rise above the negativity. Zhang Yang's earlier advice echoes in her thoughts, reinforcing her determination and reminding her that she is no longer the same as before. With newfound determination, Gao Ran vows to showcase her talents unapologetically and dreams of standing alongside Zhang Yang, envisioning a bright future. As she steps confidently onto the runway, Zhang Yang observes her with anticipation, silently encouraging her to make her mark and prove her capabilities. Captivated by the moment, onlookers notice her strong presence and elegance, capturing photographs as she confidently moves forward. The purity of her demeanor shines through as she continues her walk, impressing those around her with a striking presence that commands attention. Her aura and confidence eclipse other distractions, establishing Gao Ran as a standout figure on the stage. Her allure captivates everyone, paving the way for admiration. Zhang Yang proudly acknowledges Gao Ran's growth, witnessing her transformation firsthand. The red-haired man gets emotional, recognizing Gao Ran's accomplishments and wishing she were his girlfriend. The crowd, particularly the red-haired man and the young woman, exclaims in awe at Gao Ran's impressive performance, wishing for her success. An emergency call disrupts the moment as someone faints in the excitement, adding an unexpected twist to the event's proceedings and sparking intrigue among the spectators. The director requests additional information on the finale model, signaling his interest in understanding every aspect of the presentation, pointing to the level of professionalism expected. Celebration dinner takes place on the night of a big show with a view of a beautifully lit building. Guests gather under a golden champagne tower, marking the event's elegance and excitement. A blonde man is congratulated by two guests for a successful show and expresses his gratitude, claiming the show was amazing yet no big deal for him. A young woman marvels at a towering macaroon display, dazzled by its beauty. Nearby, a man expresses his enjoyment of the party. A man critiques a dish, suggesting too much sauce was used. A server apologizes, explaining the chef is busy, while another person returns his complaint with a smile. An announcer introduces the hero of the night, prompting admiration for the person's beauty. A guest inquires about the dress's designer, Zhang Yang. A woman is introduced as a new model with striking charisma, stepping down the stairs, holding a man's hand. The announcer asks Mr. Guo, the general manager, to speak for the banquet. Someone jokes about his drinking, suggesting Zhang Yang speak instead. Zhang Yang credits Gao Ran for being the biggest talent of the show, acknowledging her excellent performance. Others recognize her predicted talent. Zhang Yang resists someone's excited gratitude, emphasizing the need to thank Gao Ran properly by increasing her salary. An invitation to enjoy the banquet is announced. Gao Ran is called to eat, with Xiang Hong responding cheerfully, promising to join. A strict voice warns Xiang Hong against eating a specific food again, recalling Zhang Yang's disapproval. She expresses determination to adhere to the command. Zhang Yang advises someone not to overfill their dress and relax at the event, receiving a shy thanks in return. Gao Ran voices her hunger, eager to finally eat a good meal. Xiang Hong playfully remarks that sacrifices are part of being beautiful. A man approaches Gao Ran with compliments, introducing himself as a company manager and asking to drink with her. Xiang Hong interrupts, defending Gao Ran. Dong Lu defends Gao Ran from unwanted attention, offering to drink with the man instead. The unwelcome man declines, feeling uneasy. Xiang Hong finds Dong Lu amusing, but Gao Ran is advised to be more assertive. Xiang Hong humorously suggests more drastic actions. Dong Lu receives thanks for intervening, congratulating Gao Ran on her debut. Gao Ran admits to feeling nervous, despite receiving unexpected encouragement. Dong Lu whispers about a surprise, asking Gao Ran to wait after the party. Gao Ran, intrigued, agrees to the plan. Gao Ran reflects on her sore feet, realizing the excitement overshadowed the discomfort she now feels. Recognizing the demanding life of a model, Gao Ran encounters Zhang Yang, who comments on her experience. She acknowledges the lifestyle with acceptance. Zhang Yang appears, acknowledging Gao Ran's effort. She feels the need to express her gratitude, ready to communicate her appreciation. Gao Ran, feeling off balance, is approached by Zhang Yang, who checks on her condition. They sit down to assess the situation. Zhang Yang observes the toll the show took on Gao Ran's feet. Her dedication to high heels resulted in visible pain. Gao Ran questions if Zhang Yang is showing concern for her. He calls out to her, awaiting her response. Zhang Yang instructs Gao Ran to approach him, causing her surprise by the unexpected request. Zhang Yang reveals his intention to help Gao Ran with her hurt foot, offering to carry her to the car for treatment. He lifts her gently despite her slight protest, assuring her with a confident gesture. Gao Ran expresses happiness as she is carried away, and a friend sees them heading towards a car, highlighting the evening's friendly camaraderie. A calm scene unfolds with the exterior of a house. A character calls out for Sister Gao Ran, indicating urgency. The call for Sister Gao Ran continues, revealing a close-up of the character looking concerned. Another character cheerfully announces that it's time for breakfast. In a bedroom, the cheerful character asks if they disturbed Gao Ran during the night. Gao Ran reassures them, calling someone well-behaved. The cheerful character invites Gao Ran for breakfast made by their mom. The response is a simple acknowledgement with an okay, followed by a focus on someone's bandaged foot beside the bed. Gao Ran seems pensive while sitting by the window. Suddenly, a loud bang is heard. A female character urgently instructs someone to get the mechit. A concerned woman questions what happened to the girl, wondering about her identity. She expresses her admiration for the girl's beauty and extends an invitation to stay the night. The woman notes the girl's inflamed feet, offering sympathy for her carelessness. The girl apologizes for being a bother. Encouragements to behave are gently given, promising to send her home later. The child protests that she wants Gao Ran to sleep with her. The woman acknowledges the time and observes that the child has never been fond of anyone besides her brother. She compromises by offering one night stay. The child feels content as they lie in bed, giggling together in a comfortable and friendly atmosphere. Gao Ran reflects on the kindness of Zhang Yang's family, finding appreciation in her surroundings. Someone then checks if she is awake. Upon waking, Gao Ran is pleasantly surprised by a compliment on her slim figure and the way the clothes fit her. She acknowledges the slightly short fit. Engaging over breakfast, Gao Ran is offered milk, to which a character recalls how strong she used to be, recognizing a change. She's encouraged to ignore the comment and enjoy her meal, affirming her enjoyment. Gao Ran feels like an outsider but is encouraged to try the food. She compliments the great taste, and the cook proudly appreciates the positive feedback. A phone rings and a male character answers, greeting Mr. Gua. A sense of urgency is implied in the call. As the character listens, tensions are visually emphasized, leading Gao Ran to inquire what's wrong. The male character dismissively tells Gao Ran it's nothing, instructing her to stay put until he returns. Gao Ran acknowledges her directive, reinforced by thoughts of obedience, displaying understanding without question. Driving fast, the male character faces a crisis about bringing Gao Ran home. A headline portrays them negatively, stressing its impact on the company. The situation escalates with demands to rush to the company amidst pressing chaos surrounding the media headlines. At the company entrance, anger ensues as the male character encounters opposition, warned to stay out of the way. The confrontation escalates with a punch as harsh words are exchanged, highlighting emotional tension. The male character questions the attack, demanding an explanation, showing surprise in response to the confrontation. Bystanders react with shock as the altercation ensues, calling attention and concern. The tension remains high as the male character gets pulled into discussion. The opponent accuses him of neglecting the impact on her and reveals personal feelings. The accused expresses empathy with evident emotion. The altercation turns physical with a punch. The opponent then questions the friendship and mentorship, sparking deeper conflict. The male character tries to defuse the situation, urging calmness and pleading to reconsider the assumptions. Despite attempts to explain, the opponent accuses him of being unchanged, with lingering frustration and accusations that mirror past grievances. A conversation begins with someone referencing Miss Lu Fei, confirming they have done everything she asked. They mention that the news is now filled with gossip about Zhang Yang. A woman sits comfortably acknowledging the completion of a task. She comments that a male model from a company had a confrontation with the subject of gossip. The woman finds the rumors intriguing and ponders why the fight occurred. She learns that the two involved used to be classmates and were on good terms. The conversation concludes with an instruction to bring someone in, hinting they might be useful. A man acknowledges the request. A scene shows someone feeling bored after their partner goes to school. They express uncertainty about how long their stay will last. The character decides to call Zhang Yang. Xiang Hong receives a call, puzzled about how the caller knows his location. The caller confirms they are at Zhang Yang's house. The caller is surprised that the world knows their location. They urge the recipient to read the headlines, implying their widespread notoriety. Someone points out their newfound fame due to the rumors requesting a coat from a lady. Another person expresses surprise, questioning their early departure without lunch. Declining the offer, they thank the host for their hospitality. Rushing outside, they ponder Zhang Yang's hurried departure earlier. A group discusses today's headlines about a designer and a young model from K Company. They note the height difference between the model and someone else in their building. Observers comment on someone's luxurious appearance, speculating it's from spending the night with the director. A woman enters the director's office, asking why she wasn't informed about something important. Upon seeing the director, she is shocked and questions the condition of his face. The director mentions advising her to stay home and questions whether a fight related to the news caused his injuries. The director instructs her to return, assuring her that he will take care of the situation. She insists on being involved, believing she should explain as they did nothing wrong. The director strongly orders her to leave. Considering the public scrutiny, she reflects that she had to fend off reporters earlier. To avoid further headlines, she is told to go home. He warns that any further involvement could damage their careers. He reassures her that he will resolve everything. She is advised once more to return and await further information. Alone in a room, she wonders if she's overly concerned with others' opinions, or if she's truly a target. Struggling with self-doubt, she questions her efforts to prove herself and expresses disappointment in her modeling career. She longs to be with Zhang Yang. She questions the unfortunate turn of events in her life, despite being in headlines alongside another person. A woman predicts that the news will lose momentum soon, speculating that Zhang Yang hasn't been sufficiently affected. A man enters, responding to Miss Lu Fei's summons. Offering a cigarette, she verifies his identity as the model who fought Zhang Yang, complimenting his looks. She recalls a previous meeting they had, which surprises him. The man labels Zhang Yang negatively, accusing him of ruining Gao Ran's future, whom he likes. He expresses unforgiveness. She acknowledges Zhang Yang's negative behavior since high school, unimpressed by his actions. Dismissing Zhang Yang's treatment of him, the man expresses admiration for her, comparing her favorably to Gao Ran. Calling him sweet, she extends an offer for him to join her company, laying her hand gently on his. Promising, she assures him that she can provide anything he desires. Her final suggestion is to engage in something enjoyable together. The scene opens with a character named Dong Lu in a car, contemplating something fun. Another person asks if he is from a small town. Lu Fei directly questions Dong Lu about his ambitions in the big city. Dong Lu reveals that his father urged him to make a career there and he aspires to model and save money to start a food business. As Dong Lu expresses discomfort with Lu Fei's proximity, she laughs at his goal, calling it cute. She suggests she can offer more support but with a condition. Lu Fei turns away, hinting at a proposition. She implies that Dong Lu must prove something to her first. Dong Lu must demonstrate loyalty. The scene transitions to him in a car receiving a phone call. On the phone, he informs someone that he is almost at their location, impatiently waiting in front of the company. The impatient person on the call demands to know why Dong Lu can't just explain over the phone, frustrated by the busy schedule. There's a sudden commotion with a car rumbling, catching the caller by surprise as they express shock. A witness calls out for an ambulance, concerned about Director Zhang, questioning his condition after an incident. A woman, startled in bed, answers a call as Mr. Gua, expressing her bewilderment at the unexpected news. The setting shifts to a hospital exterior, calmly transitioning to where the urgent situation is unfolding. The woman rushes into the hospital asking about Zhang Yang's status from Mr. Guo seated nearby. Mr. Guo, puzzled, inquires why she is wearing pajamas, to which she doesn't immediately respond. The woman urgently seeks information about the accident's perpetrator, wondering if they are caught. Mr. Guo reveals it's Dong Lu, shocking the woman who can't fathom his carelessness. She scolds Dong Li's recklessness, worried about Zhang Yang's welfare while questioning the accident's intent. Mr. Guo speculates that Dong Lu wouldn't harm Zhang Yang intentionally, even addressing the underlying tension from a disagreement. The woman realizes there might be personal motives, questioning the nature of Dong Li's recent actions and the physical evidence of their clash. Reflecting on Dong Li's resignation call, the woman muses over the deepening conflict. Mr. Guo reassures her about Dong Li's friendship with Zhang Yang, dismissing malicious rumors but urging her to discuss directly. As the woman leaves to investigate, Mr. Guo advises her to remain calm and composure. At the police station, authorities question Dong Li's intent, trying to ascertain the purpose behind his actions. Dong Lu dismissively explains to the officers, reiterating the incident as an accident despite their insistence. A fellow officer intervenes, suggesting Dong Lu be released, implying others witnessed Zhang Yang's sudden road entry. Lu Fei, present at the station, supports Dong Li's innocence, the request debated among the officers. As the handcuffs come off, Dong Li's sarcastic demeanor irks the officers, amid his relief. Outside the station, Dong Lu plays down the situation as a figure surprises him, calling his name in astonishment. The woman, identified as Gao Ran, stands bewildered by Dong Li's presence with Lu Fei, perplexed by the association. A sense of betrayal fills Gao Ran's eyes as she questions Dong Li's alliance with Lu Fei, deeply affected by the sight. Outside a building, a woman questions why a man is with another woman, highlighting tension between them. The blonde woman acknowledges the presence of the new model involved in a recent scandal. She teases, asking if the model is worried about being in the news again. The dark-haired woman is reminded of a previous warning from Zhang Yang about being a paparazzi target. She reflects on rushing over, concerned for him. She feels uneasy as the blonde woman's presence brings back memories. She suspects that Zhang Yang's recent misfortune is related to this woman. The man, Dong Lu, appears with a stern expression. It's mentioned that Dong Lu was called by someone this morning and resigned. The dark-haired woman suspects Dong Lu caused an incident deliberately. She confronts him, wanting to know the truth. Dong Lu dismisses her concerns, stating that he will be with Miss Lu Fei from now on, leaving her shocked. The woman angrily questions Dong Lu, reminding him of his friendship with Zhang Yang. She demands to know why he acted as he did, questioning if such conflicts are necessary. Amid the confrontation, two bystanders notice the commotion and express curiosity about what's happening. Still reeling, the dark-haired woman points out that even Zhang Yang is aware of her feelings for Dong Lu. She accuses Dong Lu of betrayal for acting behind her back. She explains that Zhang Yang invited her to his house, insisting it wasn't what it seemed. She claims Zhang Yang asked her to stay while she treated a foot injury. Holding back tears, she expresses doubt about Dong Lu. Lu Fei sarcastically accuses her of spending all night elsewhere, while Dong Li's actions are seen as hurtful. The blonde woman suggests that Dong Lu isn't as innocent as he seems. Meanwhile, the dark-haired woman yells at Dong Lu, accusing him of misjudging her. The dark-haired woman accuses the blonde of influencing Dong Lu, suggesting she encouraged him to harm Zhang Yang with his car. The blonde woman challenges the dark-haired woman publicly, asking if she's looking for trouble near a police station. Dong Lu advises the blonde it's time to leave due to the growing crowd. The blonde woman blocks the dark-haired woman's path, while Dong Lu tells her she can go back as he has nothing to say. Dong Lu admits to coming to the city with a plan, which he believes will be accomplished faster with Miss Lu Fei's assistance. The dark-haired woman feels disillusioned, realizing the city's atmosphere bothers her. She reflects on her friendship with Zhang Yang and her diminishing expectations. Dong Lu coldly instructs the woman not to approach him again, severing any connection between them. The woman urges Dong Lu not to leave, but internally reminds herself that he has changed and is no longer the same person. Dong Lu recalls introducing himself to Gao Ran as a future classmate and bringing her something, highlighting a sense of nostalgia. Two officers outside the police station inquire about reported arguments but see no one around, wondering about an abandoned coat. A man reflects on waking up again in a ward, observing a girl's presence as she sleeps nearby, suggesting familiarity and care. The silver-haired man asks why someone is standing far away, encouraging them to come closer. He reassures them, saying as their boss, he isn't scary. The man comments on the company's difficult situation, noting the challenges they're facing, especially concerning an upcoming contest. A blond man reflects on the numerous applicants joining a contest, expressing uncertainty about Gao Ran's potential, noting the contest measures more than just appearance. Two women strut confidently in bikinis, while another woman, Lu Fei, is shown on social media with fans cheering her on enthusiastically. Observing rumors predicting Lu Fei's victory, the man worries about the company's reputation being impacted if rankings slip, but assures a plan is in place. The silver-haired man is behaving mysteriously at the mention of Lu Fei, prompting his friend to plead for normalcy, reacting with alarm as a new character enters the scene. The young girl bursts in, checking on her brother's well-being. He urgently instructs her not to enter, signaling concern. As the girl approaches, the brother expresses relief and welcomes her presence, referring to her affectionately. Feeling relieved to see her brother alive, she reassures him of her happiness. While a new arrival, Mr. Guo, is acknowledged. The mother, expressing relief at her son's recovery, scolds him for worrying her, highlighting household safety. She lectures on the importance of responsibility, cautioning against reckless behavior and advising additional care for Gao Ran. Zhang Yang is unconscious, with others urging him to wake up as the mother collapses in distress, startling bystanders. Zhang Babe seeks assistance to find a lounge room, carrying the faint woman to receive help. A nurse assures that Zhang Yang's condition isn't critical, advising rest for the mother, who dozes off from exhaustion. Entrusting care to the nurse, Zhang Babe stays by Zhang Yang's side, ready to look after him. Contemplating marriage, Zhang Yang's thoughts drift to Gao Ran, echoing family conversations about future plans. A discussion between family members turns Zhang Yang bashful, their teasing causing him embarrassment. Mr. Guo cleverly identifies Zhang Yang's humorous reaction, while the sister points out his blushing denial. Light-hearted banter ensues among the family and Mr. Guo excuses himself, leaving a query about Gao Ran's trainer. Zhang Yang confidently affirms the trainer's competence, reassuring Mr. Guo without hesitation. Outside, two girls gossip about a handsome model, Dong Lu, admiring his height and likability. Lu Fei approaches, curious about the cheerful conversation, her presence commanding attention. After knocking, a red-haired man enters, responding to Lu Fei's invitation. Lu Fei acknowledges his popularity and requests a private conversation, seeking an honest impression. Stepping closer, she invites the man to allow her a thorough look, intrigued by his demeanor. He downplays himself modestly, acknowledging Lu Fei's flattering comparison to his rural background. Lu Fei reminisces about their initial meeting, playfully adjusting his score, recognizing his allure. Offering wine, Lu Fei comments on his nervousness, assuring he needn't be scared of her. He admits tension under her charm, noting the power her mere presence holds over men. Lu Fei and the man share a moment, with him inquiring how he can assist, signaling mutual interest. Amused by his flattery, she playfully chides him, clearly entertained by their exchange. Gao Ran arrives at an apartment, locating Mr. Lin Fan's residence purposefully. Mr. Lin Fan opens the door, recalling Gao Ran's connection as she introduces herself. Struggling to remember their prior interaction, Mr. Lin Fan repeats Gao Ran's name several times. An imaginary thought bubble appears, capturing Gao Ran's past unrequited feelings, prompting a sheepish apology. With a casual gesture, Mr. Lin Fan invites her inside, leading to a room filled with accolades. Gao Ran marvels at the impressive collection of trophies, receiving humble acknowledgement from Mr. Lin Fan, who focuses on recent styling endeavors. She admires his unassuming yet talented nature, witnessing another layer of his character. They settle in, prompted by a soda and a challenge to demonstrate her catwalk, hinting at lighthearted camaraderie. Her unexpected admission of lacking high-heel expertise stuns Mr. Lin Fan, eliciting a comically shocked reaction. In the cafe, a woman in sunglasses observes the scene, noting that Zhang Yang's introduction brings a professional air despite appearances. She assesses the situation with curiosity, reflecting on his reputation. Holding her drink, the woman considers the strictness of someone compared to Zhang Yang. She reminds herself to be cautious while maintaining her composure. A man sternly criticizes someone for not being able to walk well in high heels, questioning their worth as a model. The reprimand is intense and passionate, demanding an explanation. Frustrated, he refuses any explanation, declaring that his perfectionist nature cannot tolerate incompetence at work. He expresses disbelief at having to train someone he deems unqualified to be a model. In a dramatic shift, the woman is terrified, questioning why Zhang Yang would send someone to her. Desperately, she pleads for another chance while grappling with her fear of Lin Fan, who she describes as frightening and insane. The man sips a drink casually, unaware of the internal turmoil of another person in the scene. A sudden realization hits when someone unexpectedly yells, "Got it." A blonde girl explains the importance of confidence as a reason for difficulty in wearing high heels. She encourages cultivating stage faith and suggests initiating with strangers for practice, urging a hug with a young lady. Resolutely, the woman in sunglasses dismisses the suggestion with determination, deciding against it with a firm stance. As the blonde girl notices her approach, she greets her with enthusiasm, attempting to ease the mood by remark on the pleasant weather. Expressing kindness, the woman offers assistance and warmly embraces the blonde, wishing her a good day. She then sets her sights on another stylish person nearby. The woman confidently approaches two stylish men, hesitatingly asking permission to hug one of them. She confronts an awkward situation, awaiting their response. The men engage with her, teasing her about playing a game and commenting on her height, assuming she's a model. She thanks them, but is met with a critique about not appearing natural. Sitting shyly, she struggles with her feelings when approached by someone who encourages her to face off against Lu Fei with determination. They challenge her to see if she truly believes Lu Fei is superior. She doubts her ability to compete, intimidated by Lu Fei's presence. A comforting hand reminds her not to be pessimistic, pointing out at least she's taller than Lu Fei. The man reassures her by comparing her height to Lu Fei's. He criticizes Lu Fei as a deceitful person who took a friend away from her, suggesting she imagine Lu Fei as an ant to stomp on. Encouraged by this perspective, she gains confidence, convinced she can overcome her intimidation. As she playfully stomps, considering it a win, the man agrees and suggests moving on to their next task with a chuckle. Arriving at a new location, the woman sits with a group in a circle, confused about her surroundings, internally questioning what the place is. A friendly older woman inquires if she's there due to a lack of confidence. The woman confirms, finding reassurance as the older woman shares her personal transformation through classes, even noticing her improved skin. The woman compliments the older woman's skin, engaging in lighthearted conversation about appearances before they're interrupted by someone addressing the group gathered. A charismatic instructor asks the group who they believe are the future stars, igniting a moment of self-reflection and ambition in those present. The energetic instructor praises the group for understanding the importance of confidence, sharing their slogan emphasizing self-assurance and uniqueness, driving enthusiasm in the room. Encouragement continues with the instructor rallying them to embrace the program, focusing on heart and participation as keys to becoming the confident stars they aspire to be. Overwhelmed by the scene, the woman expresses bewilderment, deciding to opt out, sensing her discomfort in the overt optimism and energy. Crossing a precarious crocodile-filled area, Gao Ran, another woman, is admired for her bravery while walking calmly among the reptiles, impressing those watching from the side. Upon reaching safety, another person congratulates her achievement. She casually credits her past practice for her ability to navigate such a challenging task. With enthusiasm, the leader commends Gao Ran for surviving the ordeal, declaring she's now fearless and exuberantly praising her success. The focus shifts to the importance of stage willpower in modeling, underscoring the need to remain unaffected by external factors, whether it's extreme weather or limited audiences. Preparing to enter a cold space, the woman is instructed to disrobe and maintain composure despite the cold surroundings, testing her resilience and adaptability. Surprised by the sudden command to undress, the woman questions the rationale, taken aback by the unexpected challenge of enduring harsh conditions. The man stresses the importance of adapting to varying stage environments, pointing out the necessity of such preparation to be considered a qualified model. Though wary, the woman begins to trust the man's methods more, recognizing the intention behind his unusual but effective training techniques. Resolute, she vows to not let others down, committing to the training for both herself and the confidence instilled by Zhang Yang. Searching for someone, a concerned character enters a room, hoping to find the person they are looking for amidst the tension and preparations. Entering the room, they jovially demand a show of underwear from Gao Ran. The startled response is interrupted as she wrestles with making a decision. Chaos ensues as another person protests the rough handling of Ran, expressing anger before offering refreshment to calm the situation and dispel the confusion. Holding a glass, the man faces accusations of being a pervert, but Gao Ran reassures Xiang Hong, telling them it's mere training and appreciating their support. Gao Ran, embracing her newfound confidence, claims to have transformed, intent on confronting Lu Fei's scorn. Xiang Hong expresses concern over her sudden but exhilarating change. Perplexed, Xiang Hong questions if Gao Ran has been influenced or manipulated, gauging her sincerity amidst the radical shift in attitude and bold declarations. Gao Ran insists she's unaffected, subtly critiquing Xiang Hong's current outfit and hinting at areas to improve with a playful demeanor, inciting amusement. An employee rushes into an office where Mr. Guo is seated, announcing with urgency that Zhang Yang is missing. This unexpected news prompts concern, hinting at a significant issue that needs immediate attention. Mr. Guo is visibly troubled, revealing that he needed Zhang Yang to confirm some documents. The situation is exacerbated by the fact that neither the hospital nor Zhang Yang's family knows where he went. There's a growing sense of unease as Mr. Guo expresses his bad feeling about this sudden disappearance. Zhang Yang appears with determination, vowing to make Lu Fei regret everything she did. Despite the blurred, ominous setting, it's clear there's a plan brewing in Zhang Yang's mind, indicating deep personal stakes in whatever conflict is unfolding. A hospital room is shown, vacant, with an unmade bed, suggesting recent or hurried activity. The scene shifts to an external building, setting a mysterious and unresolved atmosphere concerning Zhang Yang's intentions and whereabouts. Two women discuss the news that morning, noting that Lu Fei has made headlines. The fact that she has quickly taken action against Dong Lu is noted with surprise. Meanwhile, a man in an elevator finds it embarrassing that Lu Fei is causing such gossip, indicating tensions around these developments. The man, alighting from an elevator, questions Lu Fei about her relationship with Dong Lu, revealing confusion and displeasure. He laments his short business trip and the manner of his return. Clearly, there's significant unease regarding recent events linked to Lu Fei. A newspaper reports Lu Fei's flirtation with a subordinate at a nightclub, calling it a messed-up nightlife scene. Amidst the scandal, someone questions Lu Fei's readiness for an upcoming contest, underlining the pressure Lu Fei faces because of the public attention. A red-haired man, shocked by the situation, questions how events have unfolded so disastrously. He seems to be in disbelief, trying to make sense of the unexpected headlines that are disrupting his life. The red-haired man informs a woman, Ms. Lu, that someone photographed them at the nightclub and now their pictures are widespread in the headlines. He apologizes for the oversight, indicating regret over not foreseeing such repercussions. In an argument, the red-haired man accuses a business-suited man of orchestrating the trouble, questioning his involvement. The accused man denies wrongdoing, expressing confusion over the accusation, highlighting the chaos and mistrust between them. A woman intervenes, pointing out that Lu Fei usually avoids scandal, questioning why she'd risk it now. She defends Zhang Yang, asserting that he is wrongly accused and suggests the real issue is revenge. The suited man questions how he can trust Zhang Yang, implying past conflicts or doubts. The woman staunchly defends him, stating her trust and suggesting practical actions over arguments, showcasing her confidence and loyalty to her partner. The business-suited man and the red-haired man face off, exchanging tense words. The woman remains thoughtful, while the red-haired man is left with a warning to wait and see, hinting at unresolved conflicts continuing to brew. The red-haired man suggests that Ms. Lu should not hold back her emotions if she feels upset, indicating his concern and support. Ms. Lu, however, expresses her determination silently, suggesting inner strength and resolve. Ms. Lu laughs at Zhang Yang's naivety, expressing her intention to continue releasing scandalous information. Her dismissal of the situation suggests confidence in managing or manipulating the public narrative. Ms. Liu is determined that more released scandals will garner her greater attention, relishing the chaos. The red-haired man looks surprised by her boldness, revealing the unexpectedly bold strategic play Ms. Liu plans to make. A scene transitions from chaos to tranquility, depicting a lineup of people under an outdoor setup. There's a protest regarding someone being unable to sign up due to negative news, setting a clash between public image and personal goals. A young man protests against a rule preventing someone from participating because of negative press, claiming ignorance of such a rule. However, the official maintains that rules cannot be altered, emphasizing procedural adherence. The young man argues that gossip doesn't equate to negative news, insisting on fairness. His persistent advocacy for someone suggests belief in justice or a personal connection, as another individual questions the definition of negative news. Director Zhang appears, startling the young man. His presence causes nervous reactions, implying power dynamics or past interactions that grant Director Zhang authority or influence over unfolding events. Director Zhang responds disdainfully to an inquiry about politeness, implying a hierarchy of respect and authority. He informs that Lu Fei has already signed up despite supposed restrictions, suggesting unexpected influence or manipulation. A group of onlookers admire Director Zhang, impressed by his demeanor. Meanwhile, a man, uncertain of the circulating news, stands confused, illustrating contrasting perceptions and the unfolding social dynamics. A woman confirms the scandal involving Lu Fei, while Director Zhang speculates on the impact of negative news for the competition, revealing strategic plotting concerning public perception and Lu Fei's reputation. Angered by intrusion, an official threatens to involve security. Director Zhang, unthreatened, boldly encourages an escalation, underscoring a conflict of authority and defiance in the face of institutional control. A mysterious man, smirking, acknowledges the mention of Gao Ran from K Company, implying deeper ties or intentions that connect to broader character agendas or hidden affiliations in this scenario. An official addresses the mysterious man with respect, indicating a shift in power dynamics. The mysterious man's presence suggests influence and a potential pivotal role in the narrative's unfolding conflict. The mysterious man expresses interest in a performance, directing an official to sign someone up, indicating his authority and perhaps setting future events in motion due to his decisions and presence. A phone shows the time and a young man concludes his day's activities, signaling a transition or downtime that contrasts with the previously intense events, hinting at personal lives outside public conflicts. Planning a game session with friends, the young man invites a companion to proceed. Engaged in physical exercise, the companion demonstrates focus and endurance, suggesting personal goals and motivation. Observing the companion's dedication, the young man thinks about her perseverance and improvement, reflecting admiration. Her commitment suggests personal development and determination parallel to the broader story conflicts. Surprised by the young man's lingering presence, the companion questions him. He reassures their continued companionship, emphasizing support and camaraderie within evolving personal narratives. A young man proudly informs Miss Liu that he has successfully accomplished a task she had assigned to him. The young man shares that Zhang Yang was responsible for the recent scandal by sending someone else to carry it out. The blonde woman expresses her lack of surprise and criticizes Zhang Yang for not changing his ways despite a severe car accident. The blonde woman instructs the young man to call Zhang Yang, signaling her intent to take further action against him. She questions if he has ever heard of a desperate fight. She explains that a weak beast will struggle to find a way out in a desperate situation, but it's ultimately pointless. The young man begins to understand her point. The blonde woman reveals that she plans to mentally crush Zhang Yang, determined to overcome his actions. A white-haired man, appearing sleepy, answers a phone call asking who is on the line. The blonde woman, confident and assertive, reminds him of her identity as Director Zhang, challenging him to remember her. The blonde woman, with a pointed expression, mentions the rumors of Zhang going through a difficult time. He sarcastically refers to her as fake face, acknowledging their history. The blonde woman calls to express her gratitude, sarcastically thanking Zhang for making her the center of attention before the contest. Her displeasure is evident, and she mentions the challenges of maintaining her appearance. She tells Zhang he lacks any real style and will be helpless without his face. The white-haired man mockingly warns her not to let newcomers defeat her so easily. He continues, suggesting that her anger might drive her to scheme behind others' backs. The young man is startled as she accidentally drops her phone. The blonde woman wonders if her phone is broken and expresses frustration as phones are costly. She demands someone come to her office immediately, showing her assertiveness. Meanwhile, the white-haired man questions if a woman had called him. Another character acknowledges Miss Lu's request and agrees to handle a task discreetly, ensuring not to let others discover their actions. The young man expresses his desire to accompany Miss Lu, but she insists on wanting to be alone for now, showing her need for independence. A character named Zhang Yang is asked what's wrong during a phone call. A female character, visibly concerned, remarks on the extent of his actions and the repercussions. In a romantic and idealized moment, the character Gao Ran is praised for his growth. A woman reveals her sacrifices were made for him, hoping to make him proud of her achievements. When questioned about her blushing, the woman denies it. Her partner asks how she would react if her clothes tore on stage, highlighting the pressure she feels. The phrase "big news" flashes as a new female model gathers attention by being nearly naked on the runway, creating a scandalizing moment. An observer asks Zhang Yang if he is familiar with the scandalous model. Zhang Yang denies knowing her, while a coach calls for explanation, showing interest in the commotion. A character is overwhelmed by the fast-spreading news and seeks guidance, leading to the initiation of a lesson focused on crisis management. The lesson begins explaining crisis management in modeling. Proper response in emergencies can not only save face but enhance the performance. As models check in at an event, two characters discuss Mr. Gu's assistance. They are curious about his identity, suspecting he is a plutocrat. During an interview, Miss Lu is questioned about a scandal. She dismisses the allegations, asserting that the mentioned event never occurred and implying manipulation by others. Two observers criticize the models, labeling them as mediocre compared to Gao Ran. They note a new model's ability to walk well in high heels, acknowledging her skills. A figure enters, catching attention with her presence. Curious onlookers ask about her identity, intrigued by her aura. Observers debate the significance of the new arrival, questioning her importance. A familiar character comments dismissively on her stature. Miss Lu greets Gao Ran with a playful remark. As two women cross paths, one expresses relief at seeing the other in good spirits after a previous setback. They exchange friendly words, reconnecting. The blonde woman attempts to speak, seeking attention, but is initially ignored by the other woman. She insists on being noticed. The taller woman, taken aback, apologizes for not seeing the blonde woman, subtly commenting on her height. This exchange highlights their differing perspectives. A woman abruptly stops and questions what another person just said, expressing surprise and perhaps anger. The blonde woman, appearing confused, asks what's wrong. The other woman responds that she said sorry, indicating a possible insincere apology. The dark-haired woman comments on the blonde's height, implying she didn't notice her due to being short. The blonde retorts, comparing her to the director, and offers to teach her how to speak to a senior. The dark-haired woman dismisses the offer and advises not to mistake compassion for weakness, suggesting an underlying tension between them. The blonde woman confidently warns that the contest is not her opponent's stage alone. However, the other woman reacts angrily, using a derogatory term, and vows to teach her a lesson. The man advises the blonde to calm down due to the presence of reporters. Despite this, she holds a grudge and warns the other woman to wait, implying future retaliation. A group laughs at the comment about someone being too short to notice, finding it amusing. This humorous situation causes one person to fall to the floor in laughter. A person points out someone else's blushing face, anticipating the public will see her embarrassment on TV. There's a shared sentiment of enjoyment at seeing her suffer, marking just the beginning. The dark-haired woman realizes they're on TV and worries she might have gone too far while trying to remain composed, admitting she had forgotten about the reporters. The woman is reminded about the upcoming contest and the importance of staying focused, with a direct reminder not to forget the purpose of her presence that day. The regional Miss World contest has started its audition stage, showcasing contestants from all over who are introduced as beautiful like fairies. A notable scene features the new model challenging the famous Lu Fei. This bold confrontation highlights her sophisticated and heroic spirit, capturing public attention. The new model, after a past scandal, is scrutinized about her potential transformation and capability to compete with Lu Fei despite having cleared the audition process easily. Lu Fei confidently looks forward to the contest's finale. In the meantime, someone acknowledges Gao Ran as potentially the tallest contestant this year. Observers admire Gao Ran's athletic ability, particularly her swimming skills, with some expressing envy over her tall and well-shaped physique. Gao Ran recalls always being competitive in physical education, impressing others with her abilities from a young age. Dongla stands at a distance, capturing the attention of Gao Ran, who seems surprised to see him. Donglu offers a jacket to Miss Lu, suggesting concern for her comfort in cold weather. She affectionately notes his kindness and appreciates his presence. A colleague asks Gao Ran if she has the confidence to triumph in the upcoming Supermodel competition, to which she responds affirmatively, indicating her determination. The tension builds as the Miss World finalists are announced, transitioning into the anticipation for the next Supermodel final, judged by a panel of experts. An esteemed individual declines the offer of a private room, while the excitement heightens with models ready for their moment on stage. Gao Ran receives unexpected praise for reaching this stage, though a rival believes this is where her journey should end, questioning her worthiness to compete. Despite the rival planting seeds of doubt about winning, Gao Ran remembers her perseverance against Zhang Yang, hinting at strategic moves to bypass the obstacle. Gao Ran feels the pressure as her rival predicts failure, but she remains focused on impressing someone important who might be watching. The stage is set for the top model show, with contestants stepping confidently into the spotlight amid eager anticipation. A cameraman and another person admire the new model's beauty and potential to become a supermodel, noting her poised presence and standout attributes. The new model shines with confidence as her height is identified as an influential advantage, contributing to her promising future. Lu Fei reacts maliciously, predicting Gao Ran's doom, while observers notice a potential wardrobe malfunction during the show. As concerns arise about being observed by all, reassurances offered to not worry, maintaining a sense of calm amid panic. Despite the unexpected mishap, the new model handles the situation with grace, earning applause for her ability to maintain elegance under pressure. Enthusiastic spectators cheer wildly, praising the model's dreamy display on stage, calling her a goddess for her stunning performance. Proud and triumphant, Gao Ran reflects on the crowd's enthusiastic reception, addressing Zhang Yang internally, feeling validated by their support. A woman standing confidently asks how something is possible while noticing another woman in a swimsuit nearby. The first woman expresses disbelief at how another woman could learn such advanced skills and declares she doesn't want her to succeed in their circle. Frustrated, the woman instructs another to look in the mirror and consider which part of her compares, suggesting she just pick up her belongings. Meanwhile, a newcomer reflects on whether she's overreacting. The woman dismissively thinks the other is just a novice acting out of fear, implying there's nothing substantial to her success. In another scene, two men are discussing how someone covered up a costume malfunction with hand motions. The chairman agrees with the observation. A man assures his boss that he is on it, responding to the instructions given. A narrative voice announces that all 12 beauties have performed and thanks them for the great show, preparing for the final results announcement. The atmosphere is tense as the host prepares to announce the champion of the regional contest, while the contestants await the result. The female competitor, questioning if she failed, appears anxious as she anticipates the results. The woman, seemingly having expected to win, privately reveals she bribed the judges and intends for her and another person to lose completely, but an unexpected situation arises at the jury table. The host finally declares the winner of the contest as Miss Gao Ran from K Company, delivering the awaited news. The woman is shocked by the unexpected announcement, her reaction clearly one of disbelief. As congratulatory remarks are exchanged between the winners on stage, the host asks the audience for patience as the contestants prepare for the awards ceremony. The crowd cheers for Gao Ran enthusiastically, chanting her name in celebration of her victory. Gao Ran stands triumphantly on stage, basking in the victory as someone else questions how this could have happened. Elsewhere, news spreads quickly as someone announces Lu Fei's arrival, hinting at upcoming events. A concerned reporter questions Lu Fei about her feelings regarding being defeated by a newcomer, addressing the unexpected outcome. Reporters bombard her with questions about rumors of romance and cosmetic surgery affecting her performance in the contest. Another reporter boldly accuses her of using unsportsmanlike methods in past competitions. A man firmly insists that Lu Fei is not available for interviews, stepping in to protect her from the questions. He instructs the others to get Lu out of the situation first, strategizing an exit from the overwhelming press. Frustrations run high as someone questions the chaos surrounding the situation. The characters discuss being blocked from exiting, complaints about sensitive questions, and suspicion about the seemingly mistaken agreement with the judges. As Lu is about to leave, she's ordered to stay, facing unresolved questions. She identifies someone she considers a ghost, acknowledging their reputation for deceit and challenging their presence. A man confronts her, asking what she wants, which turns the focus onto him. His intentions become clear as he declares he wants repayment for past wrongs, signaling a brewing conflict. A woman with long black hair laughs delightfully while holding a hairbrush and is shown half an hour ago. Surrounded by admirers, Gao Ran receives praises and congratulations on winning a championship. She thanks the crowd and stands on stage, looking composed. Zhang Yang appears, congratulating Gao Ran with a gentle smile. She seems surprised and her eyes twinkle as she acknowledges him. As two people decide to leave the scene, believing it's not the right time, Gao Ran expresses her gratitude to Zhang Yang for his guidance and support while holding a bouquet of flowers. Gao Ran recounts resolving a crisis involving torn clothes. Some people nearby jokingly mention her eager expression, likening it to a fangirl's excitement. Someone observes that Gao Ran always behaves uniquely in Zhang Yang's presence. Zhang Yang notes that she acted superbly. Zhang Yang compliments Gao Ran's new hairstyle, suggesting she change her clothes instead of covering them, indicating he will handle an issue soon. A man assures someone that handling a situation won't take long. Another person humorously notes the noble role they bestowed. Gao Ran reflects on her achievement as a champion, pondering whether Zhang Yang reciprocates her feelings. Excitedly, she jumps in joy, contemplating her next steps. Laughter erupts as a voice questions Gao Ran's victory. She is taken aback to see Zhang Yang and others approaching her. Zhang Yang appears puzzled and wonders what is happening. Someone suggests the contest isn't as significant as it seems, advising against arrogance. As Gao Ran senses someone nearby, she wonders about the identity of the person following her. She identifies the person as Dong Lu. He gestures for silence, hinting at something significant. Gao Ran questions Dong Li's presence and links it to Lu Fei's possible scheming. Another figure threatens legal action for false allegations. Zhang Yang accuses Lu Fei of tarnishing their image, orchestrating threats, and coercing contest insiders against Gao Ran. He speaks with authority and certainty. He lists the wrongdoings of someone secretly sabotaging opponents and bribing judges, then challenges Lu Fei's integrity as a top model. Acknowledging her actions with a dismissive tone, Lu Fei admits to the accusations with little remorse. She taunts Zhang Yang and attempts to intimidate him by claiming influence over the media and exploiting his closest relationships. A person questions Dong Li's allegiance, implying that he doesn't understand the situation fully. Dong Lu confidently declares he was never aligned with the one posing the question, breaking any assumptions about his loyalty. Lu Fei is bewildered by Dong Li's statement. The scene shows Zhang Yang and Gao Ran leaving together. A flashback introduces events from 2 months prior, beginning with a heated argument between Dong Lu and Zhang Yang. While dealing with accusations, Zhang Yang explains they were being watched, dispelling misconceptions during a tense situation. Despite being pursued, a conflict intensifies with exchanges of physical threats as a third person threatens legal intervention. The aftermath of an intense dispute is highlighted outside the high school once attended by Dong Lu and Zhang Yang. Dong Lu, noticeably bruised, reacts at a barbecue stand, setting a lively scene following earlier tensions. Zhang Yang deduces that their follower was likely involved in taking photographs. Concerned, they realize they need to address the problem quickly. Zhang Yang places trust in Dong Lu to rectify the situation, emphasizing the importance of the task that only Dong Lu can fulfill. Suggesting a covert strategy, Zhang Yang proposes Dong Lu infiltrate Lu Fei's inner circle despite the risks and challenges involved. Initially hesitant and anxious about getting caught, Dong Lu nevertheless agrees to the plan, acknowledging its necessity. Dong Lu expresses his willingness to assist, prioritizing their camaraderie and his commitment to Gao Ran over any apprehensions. United in purpose, they reinforce their partnership with a toast, determined to face whatever challenges lie ahead together. 2 months ago, a romantic moment unfolds with a couple embracing in front of a large window, creating a serene and intimate atmosphere. Lying together on a couch, the woman questions if the man got nervous, and she seeks to ask him a question, adding a layer of tension and curiosity. The woman questions why the man harbors such resentment towards Zhang Yang, as she expresses her discontent at the mention of him, annoyed that her mood has been spoiled. The man explains that certain incidents would occur if he didn't control himself for Gao Ran. He expresses his dislike for men like Zhang Yang, who disregard the dignity of others, showing a deep-seated aversion. Reflecting on past experiences, the woman reveals her hatred for arrogant men started in childhood, marked by a scene with kids showing bullying behavior. In her memory, she recalls swearing to herself that if a man like that harmed her, she would ensure retribution. Determined, the woman vows to return the favor, making sure the man's arrogant demeanor is erased, believing such people should not exist. She resolves to ensure the man doesn't get a chance to apologize, planning to drastically downgrade his life to that of a dog, underlining her determination for revenge. Standing beside the man, she contemplates whether her actions were mean, and he reassures her, saying no, showing his support. The couple shares an embrace, with the woman calling him her darling, distinguishing him from those she despises, but it leaves him with silent contemplation. Witnessed by others through glass doors, a man's voice accuses the couple of being untrustworthy, feeling deceived by their facade. A striking man apologizes with a smirk, claiming someone else forced his actions, hinting at manipulative undertones. The woman confronts Dong Lu, questioning why he acted this way when he could have had everything from her, showcasing her bewilderment and frustration. She challenges what she believes Zhang Yang can offer that she can't, demanding answers for Dong Li's actions, expressing her disbelief and hurt. Dong Lu admits the offer's appeal, yet reveals that friendship is more significant than fame and wealth, symbolizing the value he places on personal connections. The woman laughs off the idea, asserting that even if Dong Lu spreads the truth, no one will believe him, emphasizing her confidence and control. However, a man reveals he's collected all necessary evidence, signaling Lu Fei's downfall and dismantling her authority. Officers confront Lu Fei, suspecting her of unethical competition practices, asking her to come along for investigation, marking a turning point. In disbelief, Lu Fei questions the turn of events, struggling to grasp the reality and considering it impossible. She turns to Dong Lu, seeking reassurance, desperate for him to deny the unfolding situation, showing vulnerability. Lu Fei clings to hope, pleading with Dong Lu to confirm his feelings for her and hoping he's not part of the betrayal. As authorities approach, she implores Dong Lu to stay by her side, not wanting to face the consequences alone. Dong Lu hesitantly responds, while another man suggests the responsibility doesn't lie on him, deepening the conflict. Furious, Lu Fei demands recognition for her influential connections, certain they're beyond reproach, displaying her arrogance. In despair, she implores Dong Lu to intervene, perceiving him as her last resort for aid in the situation. Despite her breakdown, she laughs maniacally, declaring her belief that she will never be defeated, convinced it's all a dream. Hauled away by officers, Lu Fei's defiance continues as others urge her to calm down, exhibiting her denial. Outside, a conversation unfolds about Dong Li's feelings towards Lu Fei, questioning his decisions and loyalty. Dong Lu reveals there's only one person he truly cares for, hinting at a connection while mindful of another listening nearby. Gao Ren appears, silently reacting to the exchanges, as Dong Lu seeks her attention, showing affection and anticipation. Observing the situation, another man reflects on the relief of not having to explain details, pondering Gao Ran's reactions. As Dong Lu exuberantly approaches Gao Ran, she instructs him to maintain distance, displaying her mixed emotions. Confronted with the truth, Gao Ran questions Dong Li's deception, stripping down any pretense, provoking reflection. A farewell lingers in the air, leaving Dong Lu and another in surprise as Gao Ran walks away decisively, ending the encounter. The narrative closes with Gao Ran visibly upset, leaving an impression of unresolved feelings and impending consequences. Gao Ran is upset, indicating her mood clearly. A character with red hair gazes into the distance, pondering a question about General Gao Ran. He reflects on how he and General Gao Ran are a perfect match, lamenting the need to hide his identity due to war. He questions who she belongs to. Another character, dressed in light blue, clarifies he's not claiming she's his and points out that General Gao Ran has many admirers, counting him among them. Mr. Zhang is told that the personal matters he brings up are of no concern to him, prompting a confrontation where accusations of infidelity arise. The white-haired character dismisses the argument as foolishness and suggests an apology to General Gao Ran would be more appropriate. The red-haired character agrees silently. They decide to postpone their discussion until he has calmed General Gao Ran, with an image showing them leaving together. He contemplates whether to call and apologize to her, uncertain about what to say and worried she might ignore him. As he frets, he realizes Gao Ran's phone is off and she had quickly ended his previous call, leaving him flustered. The realization hits that she's avoiding them and he wonders about the next steps, visibly worried. Suddenly inspired, he decides to seek the help of Xiang Hong, Gao Ran's best friend, hoping for a solution. The white-haired character appears frustrated but decides to try contacting her again later, acknowledging the folly of the red-haired character's actions. In a coffee shop, a surprising action is revealed where Gao Ran's forgiveness was unexpectedly gained by another person. The pink-haired character reacts to the situation, empathizing with Gao Ran's anger towards being ignored. Despite the good intentions, Gao Ran's genuine feelings were hurt, leading to tears and misconceptions about betrayal. The revelation turns out to be orchestrated by a family scheme, while a mysterious figure observes silently. Acknowledging Gao Ran's stoic exterior, the characters recognize her true sensitivity and the need for careful handling. The red-haired character realizes Gao Ran's strong reaction stems from her deep care. He advises focusing on what they do best to make amends. He visits Gao Ran's home, finally getting the chance to see her, expressing relief. Offering a home-cooked meal, he asks if she's eaten, guaranteeing she'll enjoy his cooking. Apologizing for previous worries, he sincerely asks for forgiveness, standing at her doorstep. She remains silent, causing him to contemplate his next move, while he maintains a hopeful demeanor. In a plea not to be ignored, he appeals to Gao Ran, desperate for acknowledgement. Gao Ran calmly tells him to leave, explaining she understands everyone's intentions and is no longer angry. She admits needing time to adjust to the changes and figure out how to interact with him. He implores her not to distance herself, insisting he remains the same person she knows. Caught by surprise, Gao Ran's reaction is impulsive, though he promises never to cause her harm again. Infuriated, she scolds him for hugging her and quickly sends him away with a scolding. From behind the door, she demands he leave the meal, and he agrees, showing cooperation. Elsewhere, the white-haired character reflects on his next course of action, seeking to excel in pleasing Gao Ran. He considers making her a dress but realizes the time constraint makes it an impractical solution. Upon reflection, he concludes that crafting a dress isn't an appropriate way to extend an apology. The scene begins with a conversation where Xiang Hong is informed about someone having arrived already, expressing surprise for having overslept after an afternoon nap. Xiang Hong responds, saying they are on their way. A character finds someone to be extremely handsome and decides to hang up a call with a promise to call later. Director Zhang appears, and the person asks if they are going out. Director Zhang discusses why they are there, mentioning that another individual, Dong Lu, showed up earlier, possibly to apologize. They clarify their presence is because they are passing by, and they mention Mr. Guo is hosting a party tonight. The female character feels disappointed, expressing regret about having already made plans with a friend tonight to go to the karaoke. She states their room booking cannot be cancelled and wishes fun to the others. Director Zhang emphasizes the importance of attending the celebration party, saying it's a must. At this moment, a call from Xiang Hong is received, prompting an urgent departure. The woman assures Director Zhang she will see them next time, humorously noting that Xiang Hong will be upset if she is late. She quickly departs, relieved to have received the call on time. Suddenly, there's a sound and the scene shifts to capture her attention as if something unexpected just happened, causing her a moment of thought. The unexpected encounter results in someone accidentally pushing her against a wall where she wonders aloud what might happen if Zhang Yang becomes angry, causing her to exclaim. Finding herself pressed against the wall, she is taken aback and questions Director Zhang about his actions. He instructs her to get down from the situation. Confusion sets in as she wonders why Zhang Yang trapped her against the wall, with Xiang Hong's call unanswered on the ground. Zhang Yang demands her to stop being stubborn. He questions if she could appropriately hide their plan from Lu Fei if informed, noting that Dong Lu has already protected her reputation. Zhang Yang suggests this method as the only way to defeat Lu Fei and credits this as her motivation for improvement, seeking acknowledgement for their efforts. He pauses briefly before explaining that protecting her is the sole purpose behind the current scenario. The implication is protective, even though it may have seemed otherwise. Assuring her that his intentions are solely to safeguard her, he expresses this sentiment while maintaining the embrace. She responds by requesting a promise never to lie to her again, showing the importance of trust in their relationship. She admits feelings of fear and anger, confessing her concern about his possible demise, ultimately realizing her fear was misplaced. Zhang Yang promises earnestly, ensuring his commitment by looking at her sincerely. In response to his promise, she decides to prepare for the party that night, displaying her willingness to move forward positively. Zhang Yang watches her leave, reflecting on his inability to apologize and wondering if forgiveness has been granted. Meanwhile, she sits by herself on the floor, visibly embarrassed, possibly contemplating the recent events and interactions. Arriving at the event location, a generous display by Mr. Gua impresses them. Gao Ran joyfully anticipates the visit. A brief conversation occurs about possibly spreading good words to Xiang Hong. Another mentions concerns about a person named Fan, noting his violent nature. Draft by hunger, the character suggests heading to eat, resolved to make significant progress that night. A female character expresses annoyance over Zhang Yang disrupting her night plans. An inquiry is made regarding Zhang Yang's sexual orientation, stemming from rumors about his relationship status. The question of Zhang Yang's sexuality arises because he lacks a girlfriend and rumors circulate about designers being more likely to be gay. Zhang Yang responds, suggesting personal investigation for verification. An unexpected approach by Zhang Yang prompts a startled reaction, emphasizing how he is perceived as straightforward, not supporting the gossip. Close encounters cause exclamations over Zhang Yang's actions, with others observing the surprising interaction between him and the female character. Playfully, Zhang Yang questions if she thinks he intends to kiss, dismissing it later as a joke. Relief is expressed by a nearby male character. Zhang Yang humorously handles the situation, while questions about his interaction with Xiang Hong arise, indicating curiosity or concern among the group. A delighted anticipation of enjoying a grand feast is voiced, with high praises for Dong Li's culinary skills. A friendly offer to prepare the praised dish regularly sparks happiness, while Gao Ran seems pleased that interaction has resumed. Gratitude is expressed warmly for a thoughtful act, while playful competitiveness surfaces during a game. Mr. Gua enthusiastically welcomes everyone, gearing up to engage with the gathered crowd and encouraging them to join in the celebration. A toast is initiated to honor Gao Ran for winning a contest, attributing another success to their company. The gathering cheers for the company's future successes, celebrating together with heartfelt toasts to ongoing achievement. Collectively, they toast to the future, fostering unity and camaraderie among all present at the event. The scene starts with a guy pointing towards the ocean, acknowledging that it is the SY beach while standing shirtless with a backpack. Two girls appear happy and excited to be at this beach. A girl expresses her excitement about being on her first beach vacation, admiring the wide and pretty view. She also hopes for a chance to see Zhang Yang in a more revealing attire. Zhang Yang, bare-chested, reflects on the possibility of physical contact with others during playful moments. Someone is calling Gao Ran to come over. Another girl thinks to herself how good Zhang Yang's physique is, recalling her experience of hugging him. Gao Ran wonders what she's thinking about, while Xiang Hong compliments her on still looking cute, sweet, and pretty. Nearby, a girl calls out excitedly to a handsome guy. A girl is running along the beach saying she's coming. Another girl tells her how perfect her swimsuit is. One girl asks a coach if she has seen Zhang Yang. The coach questions her attire, reminding her that she must maintain a goddess image and asking about her bikini. She protests, saying it's not a contest. The girl defends her style, saying she's a conservative person. Meanwhile, Xiang Hong points out a stranger talking to another girl, feeling alarmed. A guy compliments a girl, calling her cute, and notes that it's a pity she's alone. The girl responds that she's there with a friend. Xiang Hong intervenes, telling the guy he shouldn't hit on her like that. Xiang Hong boldly tells the man to leave his girl alone. The man questions if Xiang Hong is her boyfriend, to which the girl replies no. The guy appears awkward, suggesting Xiang Hong is looking for trouble, prompting Xiang Hong to apologize. Dong Lu is relishing a relaxing moment and is looking forward to seeing Gao Ran in a bikini. Dong Lu imagines Gao Ran's perfect body shape, feeling excited at the thought. He realizes there's something more urgent he needs to do first. Dong Lu decides he needs to escape quickly as a group of girls chase after him. They excitedly call out for him to wait. Distraught, he wonders why Zhang Yang attracts all the pretty girls while he struggles. Lin Fan impressively builds a sandcastle. Xiang Hong warns him to move away due to some impending danger. As a dust cloud approaches, someone shouts Dong Li's name, indicating trouble. Lin Fan exclaims in frustration for the person causing commotion to stop showing off. A girl in a red bikini greets a guy lounging under an umbrella, trying to get his attention. She asks if anyone is sitting next to him and wonders if she can join if the spot is free. The guy dismisses her request. Another girl observes many beauties surrounding Zhang Yang and feels frustrated. A group of women line up, eagerly waiting to talk to the guy on the lounge chair. Gao Ran queries what one of them is doing over there. Zhang Yang tells her to come over. She is insulted by a group of onlookers, wondering why they are questioning her presence and calling her rustic. Dong Lu soon approaches her with urgency, asking where her bikini is. The girl alerts Zhang Yang about Dong Lu being in potential danger, asking for his help. Surrounded by concerned girls, Zhang Yang sternly tells them to go away. He remarks to Dong Lu about his overly soft-hearted nature, suggesting he never learned how to refuse anyone, including a past encounter with Li Fei. Dong Lu explains that Li Fei seduced him first with confidence, and he had to pretend nothing happened to avoid her finding out. Zhang Yang, along with Dong Lu and a girl, decide to have a swimming race towards a red flag in the distance. The girl doubts her ability to compete against the guys, questioning their potential swimming speed. Observing the scene from the beach, a spectator notes how popular Zhang Yang and Dong Lu are as cheers arise for the two to go ahead. A group of friends eagerly cheers on someone they are watching, encouraging them with words of support, emphasizing their belief that the person can succeed. As the swimmer cuts through the water, someone marvels at how fast Dong Lu is moving and expresses curiosity about the whereabouts of Zhang Yang. The same person looks around, questioning where Zhang Yang might be, clearly trying to spot him but without success. The searcher gets worried upon realizing they can't see Zhang Yang and wonders what might have happened to him. Suddenly, another character triumphantly declares victory, holding up a red flag and celebrating their win with enthusiasm. Confused, the winner starts to look around, wondering where the other participants have gone since they seem to have disappeared. Observers on the beach are discussing the situation, with one person claiming they saw the girl, before noting that she vanished again. Next, they speculate that the girl seems to be searching for something in the water, watching the activity unfold with interest. Underwater, a character regrets not doing a proper warm-up as their legs cramp up, pleading internally for recovery from the unfortunate situation. Faced with the fear of drowning, they question if today will be the day they meet their end, all while sinking into an abyss. A sense of hopelessness takes over as they reflect on past moments of despair and the endless darkness consuming them, fearing the outcome. The girl successfully reaches Zhang Yang underwater, reassuring that the absence should not last long and that he will hopefully be all right. Determinedly, she resolves to get Zhang Yang out of the water, ready to rescue and bring him back to safety immediately. As the light reaches him, Zhang Yang's inert form is revealed, suggesting a turn of events as effort is made to save him. On the beach, the group notices the rescuers emerging from the water, with the girl carrying Zhang Yang, prompting reactions and inquiry about the incident. The red-haired character, concerned and ready to take action, explains the probable cramp Zhang Yang experienced that caused him to keep sinking, urging for help. As Zhang Yang lays on the sand, a few spectators express admiration for the girl's cool demeanor during the rescue, albeit begrudgingly. A debate breaks out over who should perform artificial respiration on unrecovered Zhang Yang, with offers of help and declarations of willingness to assist. With serious intent, the red-haired character readies to act on giving aid, unbothered by others' comments or judgment. Meanwhile, another character internally criticizes this willingness, questioning if there are no other options left, but the helper insists on their course of action. A sudden rejection erupts as Zhang Yang awakens, questioning the idea of a girl helping, suggesting possible ulterior motives behind doing artificial respiration. Nearby, others worry and check in on Zhang Yang, asking if he's okay as the situation transitions from concern to relief and curiosity. Attention shifts as a group of intimidating figures approaches, one member alerting their leader about the girl who previously involved the police in their affairs. The girl realizes with surprise that she is encountering a familiar face from a past incident involving theft, struck by the unexpected development. One of the men confidently approaches her, reminding her of their previous encounter and mocking the way she reacted back then, insisting she remember him. She acknowledges remembering the encounter as she fends off his attempt to persuade her to go with him, responding decisively with resistance. A struggle ensues as she attempts to break free from his grip, prompting more assertive cries for her release, demonstrating defiance against the unwanted advance. Zhang Yang, now alert, intervenes, demanding that the persistent man let go, leveraging his presence to support the girl. The apprehensive man calls for aid from his boss, leading to a smug remark about the girl's apparent protection, highlighting her tenacity even with security around. The girl's surprise turns to an internal comment on the need to follow territorial rules, as a humorous observation is made about leadership based on size. The red-haired character humorously claims they could also be a boss, but another voice urges to avoid stirring trouble and suggests retreating from the crowded situation. As the tension diffuses, the girl expresses gratitude to Zhang Yang for helping her, to which he assures her that he'll handle the matter further, showing resolve. On the beach, a group of people faces a confident individual. They express disbelief, as it's the first time they've witnessed anyone not kneeling and pleading for mercy. The confident individual questions if the group is too frightened to move. One person provocatively suggests that another is trying to pick a fight with them. The person being provoked, a white-haired character, is cautioned against even considering it. A character, armed with a badminton racket, boasts about their boss, who is known as an overlord in Shotzi Street. They claim nobody in the city dares to challenge their boss, emphasizing his authority and even stating that the police respect him. Two characters, a man and a woman, appear determined as the woman declares that the person in front of them cannot escape today. The confident individual mentions that they can intimidate others merely by starting a fight, fearing they might overdo it. However, they assure the other person not to worry, as they don't intend to kill them. The bold character grabs the white-haired character, asserting that they only plan to send the tender sissy to the hospital for a few days. In shock, a character loudly exclaims for their boss, witnessing something unexpected. A woman watches in amazement, noting that a person even flew up. Another character questions their friend, wondering why they instigated the situation. The friend responds that the other party started it. The white-haired character reflects that their jaw was nearly broken. Meanwhile, another character, seemingly unprepared for such an outcome, resolves to display their true capabilities. On the ground, a character pleads with the white-haired individual, asking what they are doing and admitting they are unprepared for the confrontation. The white-haired person appears intense, while a panicked character yells an order to kill and ensure that no one escapes, highlighting the urgency of the situation. A red-haired character tells a woman not to look and to turn around, indicating that something distressing is happening. A crab scuttles on the sand as a woman exclaims for an officer to follow her. She explains that some people are being attacked by gangsters and appear pitiful. The officer, upon hearing this, is incredulous but agrees that the situation looks pitiful. Meanwhile, some people relax on the beach, seemingly unaffected. The white-haired character explains to an officer that they are merely defending themselves. Night falls as a woman apologizes, expressing regret for getting others into trouble. In a cheerful room, several people gather. The woman thanks someone for saving them, despite others ending up in the hospital. The saved individual reassures her, suggesting that they acted not just because of her but for another reason too. The woman looks nervous, clarifying she didn't assume the person acted solely for her benefit. She mentions doing it for Gao Ran, revealing emotional ties. The woman pledges not to let gangsters harm another and expresses willingness to do anything for them as long as they're safe. The woman checks if Dong Lu is still in pain. He admits it hurts a bit but suggests that a kiss might make it better. The white-haired character clumsily spills a drink on Donglu, leading to a humorous reaction. Donglu questions what the white-haired character was doing at such a crucial moment. A pair of friends discuss their previous fighting experiences. There's disbelief over their skills, leading to speculation about their past, but reassurance is given about their fierceness. The group continues to reflect on their past experiences, implying certain hidden talents, particularly after drinking, as Gao Ran compliments Ran's skills. The conversation shifts to curiosity about Director Zhang in high school. There's a request for stories about the past, hinting at some impressive and potentially dark history. Someone suggests that their ability to avoid starting a fight has strategic reasoning, possibly to avoid police attention. This strong tactical understanding leads to admiration from others. There's speculation about an intriguing and potentially dark backstory. Despite this curiosity, one character deflects, dismissing it as embarrassing and preferring to rest instead. Dong Lu playfully accuses the white-haired character of being a storyteller whenever they pretend. The request is to begin with how their story started, hinting at the beginning of friendships. In a different setting, there's a suggestion to infer from a particular glance. The narration points out unreasonable behavior by some people, adding a social commentary element. A confrontation occurs over clothing, where someone feels superiority from brand clothing is misplaced. Meanwhile, an indivisible scene shows a dispute over looks and compensation. In reflection, there is a fatherly lesson about not letting others look down upon oneself, especially given their humble beginnings, encouraging not to let others intimidate them. The youth is seen acknowledging this wisdom, committing to not allowing others to take advantage of or ridicule them. Donglu is nearly tricked into becoming a poor bully. At school, he carries the weight of these expectations. A collision happens, causing Donglu to react with an annoyed shout, questioning the person who bumped into him. Annoyed, Donglu addresses someone as a dwarf, hinting at a tense relationship. The scene briefly pauses, capturing the ongoing situation. Fortunately, Donglu encounters Zhang Yang, hinting at a shift in perspective or potentially a key relationship that influences his path. In a dimly lit room, a tense situation arises with discussions about resolving differences. The atmosphere turns more intimidating as viewers witness the seriousness in their expressions. The narration reflects on how meeting Zhang Yang has helped in time to correct past misconceptions, ending with a mysterious hallway, suggesting unresolved paths. A boy named Donglu is surprised when a classmate hands him a letter asking him to accept it. He politely thanks the person offering the letter. Donglu is shown on the ground with 3 boys standing over him aggressively. He questions why they are attacking him again when they had already beaten him the day before. The bullies mock his appearance, laughing as they hit him. Donglu is upset, questioning why his looks are causing trouble. He expresses how much it hurts, asking them to stop being so loud. As Donglu lies on the ground, he sees the arrival of a familiar person. Another boy questions why the new arrival is there, pointing out that he is shorter but more handsome, so why isn't he the one being targeted? Donglu is frustrated that the boss is immune to attacks simply because of status. In desperation, he flatters the boss, promising loyalty and offering to be under his command from now on. A conversation about a student named Zhang Yang takes place in the hallway. Someone remarks on Zhang Yang being impressive in academics despite often sleeping through classes and skipping them. The person being discussed is well liked by teachers and is considered perfect by many, except for his height. A girl has heard rumors about his fighting skills and the possibility of him being the next student union president. Zhang Yang's appearance captivates some bystanders who find him very handsome. 2 girls discuss their admiration for him, with one preferring another person named Donglu. A loud noise interrupts the scene as someone reacts in shock. A group enters, led by Donglu, with 2 others. They are questioned about their identity. Donglu asserts himself as a class monitor, reminding the newcomers of school rules against smoking and instructing them to clean up their cigarette butts. One of the boys retorts, dismissing Donglu's authority and admitting ignorance about who Zhang Yang is. The group decides to act against Zhang Yang, dismissing any repercussions. They encounter opposition from a staff member who threatens to report them for their behavior, but they remain unfazed. 2 girls share rumors about the past, mentioning trouble caused by a boss from another school. They speculate about Zhang Yang's mysterious absence, with some thinking he might be dead. The conversation continues about Zhang Yang's family and their inability to solve his problems despite their wealth. The narrative cuts to a mysterious injured individual. In a tense encounter, Dong Lu is being held back as Zhang Yang is urged to stop a violent act. Others around them plead for calm as the situation escalates. Dong Lu insists on putting himself first if Zhang Yang intends to fight. Zhang Yang advises that causing enough pain will be a lesson not to cause trouble again, suggesting it's a necessary action. Zhang Yang remains silent but stands firm in his decision. He tells others to take their boss to the hospital and warns them not to let him return. He expresses boredom with the situation. At home, Zhang Yang's relative suggests he eat breakfast, but he declines. A younger sibling calls out to him, seeking his attention. Zhang Yang's younger sibling tries to engage him in play, holding a toy. Zhang Yang looks on, considering the request. Going back inside, Zhang Yang's sibling is told that their mother will play with them instead, redirecting their attention as the door closes. A dramatic scene unfolds as a can is tossed through the air. Zhang Yang catches it effortlessly while sitting on steps, unmoved by the action. Dong Lu joins him, noting Zhang Yang's daring attitude for smoking in public. He expresses curiosity about Zhang Yang's combination of good looks, strength, and intelligence, wondering about his secret. Dong Lu marvels at Zhang Yang, comparing him to characters from novels. He is intrigued by how Zhang Yang maintains his remarkable presence. Zhang Yang attributes his achievements to being short, to which Dong Lu responds understandingly. He continues to express disbelief but seems accepting. Zhang Yang and Dong Lu sit together quietly, sharing the moment. Later, a conversation at home questions the state of his face and whether he has been involved in a fight. Zhang Yang stands with his backpack at home while the older figure at the table inquires about a fight. Zhang Yang admits to being called a dwarf, prompting further discussion about the reason behind it. The older figure asks Zhang Yang if he understands why others insult him. Zhang Yang's father explains it is due to nothing remarkable beyond physical characteristics. The father reassures Zhang Yang, urging him to become superior in every way so others won't dare to oppose him. He emphasizes that once stronger, others will seem insignificant. The father encourages Zhang Yang to surpass others, dismissing fairness or emotions. He instructs Zhang Yang to remain strong and remember his destined excellence. The father orders unspecified arrangements for Yang's education, dismissing concerns about it being premature, insisting on his protective approach. The mother shows concern but follows the father's directives, ensuring their son faces no bullying, reflecting the father's adamant stance. A rigorous training session is taking place, demanding more forceful effort from Zhang Yang. Instructions are shouted, urging him not to hold back during intense practice. During a nighttime scene, Yang receives a call from his father. He responds affirmatively and wraps up his current activity. Yang talks on the phone, acknowledging that his new demeanor has stopped others from bullying him. He appreciates the impact of his father's guidance. With gratitude, Yang thanks his father over the phone, expressing contentment with the advice that has helped him gain respect and control over his life. A character questions why they were beaten up before, suggesting it happened because they called someone short. The white-haired character reflects that whether they are short or not doesn't matter, but they dislike arrogance in front of them. A character thinks about how growing older makes them realize their father's emphasis on strength over fairness and feelings is correct. The white-haired character believes that if one is strong enough, they can be forgiven for bad deeds, since people admire strength regardless of age or gender. The red-haired character, Zhang Yang, is told that someone wants to be his friend, to which the white-haired character responds by questioning who would want to befriend an idiot. The red-haired character tries to convince the white-haired one that he treats him like a brother and wishes he would smile more, while the white-haired character admits it's nice to be an idiot sometimes. The red-haired character is surprised and questions whether the white-haired character envies him, to which the latter admits finding happiness in simple things. The white-haired character feels bored regardless of what they do, leading to a silent moment between the two friends. A conversation begins where the red-haired character suggests finding a girlfriend while the white-haired character admits to never having had one. The red-haired character points out the prettiest girl among the freshmen, indicating her presence on the field. The girl, Shin Chun, is described as a typical Southern beauty, introverted and dealing with deliberate exclusion from classmates. Observing other boys' failed attempts, The red-haired character challenges his friend to pursue Shin-chun, as he suggested getting a girlfriend was easy. The white-haired character nonchalantly responds to the challenge, instructing the red-haired character to invite Shin-chun to the back garden with a condition of a dinner if he fails. In the garden, the girl wonders about the forthcoming interaction while onlookers speculate on Zhang Yang's success, knowing her parents are strict. The white-haired character straightforwardly asks the girl to be his girlfriend, surprising everyone, including the girl who is caught off guard. Shin-chun, visibly shocked and blushing, questions the white-haired character's sudden action and direct approach. Observers express their shock at the boldness, not expecting such a straightforward move from the white-haired character. The red-haired character believes the girl's tough personality means it won't work and predicts the white-haired character will be perceived poorly. Unexpectedly, the girl blushes and accepts the proposal, astonishing everyone around. In a classroom later, a friend queries the red-haired character, looking for tips on pursuing a girl, and jokes about the white-haired character's bold method. Laughter erupts among friends over the outrageous advice, with warnings to avoid misleading others. During a casual hangout, a character mentions finding humor in the white-haired character's actions, while another is curious for more details. One girl is clearly dejected over Zhang Yang's romantic affairs but feigns disinterest, while the others tease her possible jealousy. A character accuses another of being blind to Rand's crush on Zhang Yang, suggesting it might alter her perception of him. In a school corridor, the girl, presumed to be Zhang Yang's girlfriend, is confronted by classmates teasing her about romantic gestures, but she dismissively resists. The vice president steps in, questioning if bullying is occurring while the girl explains it was just a misunderstanding. The vice president informs the girl that Zhang Yang awaits her at the playground while others mock her pleasant demeanor. Sitting with Zhang Yang, the girl asks if he requested the vice president's intervention, and he clarifies his intent to safeguard her from classmates. Zhang Yang acknowledges he's keeping an eye out due to rumors about classroom bullying, causing the girl to blush. As they enjoy breakfast together, Zhang Yang praises the meal's taste, which the girl enriched with various flavors. Zhang Yang affectionately tells the girl about trying mint next time, indicating playful and tender intimacy. The narrative reflects on a hopeful outlook for Zhang Yang's romantic life, suggesting he might have found genuine happiness, although uncertainty lingers. A classroom setup displays a graph on a chalkboard illustrating the differences in passion over time between men and women in relationships. The female character explains that initially a man is more enthusiastic, but over time a woman's affection continues to grow as the man's enthusiasm fades, which she finds unfair. A male character disputes the graph's implications, suggesting that it doesn't apply to everyone. He declares that if he finds the girl he loves deeply, he will dedicate all his love to her. The male character vows never to let his loved one feel left out even until the last second of his life. Another character humorously responds, hoping he can keep his promises, and playfully suggests marriage due to his kindness and handsomeness. A female character arrives asking if Zhang Yang is present. She is greeted by another male character who acknowledges her question. The female character realizes Zhang Yang had asked for a leave today, which he did mention to her. She recalls this information, feeling a bit silly for forgetting. Inside a restroom, there's commentary on how one character, Shin-chun, seems absent during collective activities, sparking curiosity about her uniqueness. Another female character expresses her disdain for Shin-chun, suggesting it's why Zhang Yang might have dumped her. However, Shin-chun refutes this, asserting their relationship is still intact. The accuser hypothesizes that Shin-chun's clinginess was the reason Zhang Yang left her, mocking her and dismissing the relationship. Shin-chun defiantly retorts that even if Zhang Yang left her, he wouldn't prefer someone like her accuser. This prompts an angry reaction from the other girl for talking back. In a moment of conflict, Shin-chun is told not to be touched and faces a demand to remove her clothes, followed by a loud noise indicating surprise from another person witnessing the scene. Zhang Yang arrives, noticing the disturbance caused by the locked bathroom door. He expresses displeasure at the inconvenience. The other girls suggest treating classmates kindly and criticize Zhang Yang for entering the women's restroom, dismissing his involvement in their matters. Zhang Yang, sternly, tells them to leave and not make him repeat himself. The atmosphere is tense as everyone processes the situation. Afterward, Zhang Yang inquires if Shin-chun is okay, showing concern for her after the altercation. Zhang Yang explains his presence, mentioning he heard her voice while passing by. He warns Shin-chun that confronting a group aggressively could lead to harm. He offers Shin-chun his coat to prevent her from catching a cold, but she declines the gesture, insisting she is fine. Zhang Yang notices a missed call from Shin-chun on his phone as he steps into another room, acknowledging the notification internally. Zhang Yang confronts another male character, questioning his absence during Shin-chun's bullying incident. The latter dismisses concern, revealing they already broke up. Surprised, Zhang Yang points out that it's been only half a year since they were constantly together. The other male finds hanging out too troublesome. Zhang Yang notes that Shin-chun seems unaware of the breakup as she continues acting like they are a couple. The other male admits he told her a month ago but claims she pretends not to understand. Zhang Yang, still expressing disbelief, suggests giving Shin-chun another chance since she admires him so much. His friend responds, affirming Zhang Yang's admirable qualities. The conversation shifts to plans for later, suggesting that Shin-chun be invited to the free club that night. The friend agrees to inform her immediately. At the club, Shin-chun is seen enjoying herself. Zhang Yang, witnessing her involvement, questions her actions at the scene. The male character, surrounded by women, rhetorically asks what he is doing, demonstrating an unremarkable side to Shin-chun as he previously described. Continuing his behavior, he taunts Zhang Yang about his previous request to see him with women, implying there's nothing to be surprised about. Zhang Yang is conflicted, realizing he must prevent Shin-chun from witnessing Zhang Yang in this state. He resolves to call and warn her not to come. However, Shin-chun appears at the club entrance, addressing Zhang Yang with a mix of emotions and concern. A girl questions Zhang Yang about his presence, while another character wonders about the girl's identity, suspecting she might be a friend of Mr. Zhang. The boy expresses he was about to call Shin-chun, advising her to leave as it's not a suitable place for her. She insists she doesn't need his concern. Shin-chun adamantly states that Zhang Yang is not the person others think he is, implying her deep knowledge of him. The boy warns her against Zhang Yang, stating he is not a good person. Shin-chun believes Zhang Yang loves her and there's a reason for his actions. A group suggests Zhang Yang is just playing around with them. A girl asks Zhang Yang if she is his real girlfriend, indicating confusion or betrayal. Shin-chun is in distress, gasping and overwhelmed by emotions, illustrating her struggle with the situation. Zhang Yang finds the breakup insignificant and questions Shin-chun's dramatic reaction, thinking it causes unnecessary trouble. Shin-chun, in tears, is called by the boy as she leaves. A moment of intimacy between Zhang Yang and another girl is interrupted. The boy apologizes and tries to move a woman aside, approaching Zhang Yang. The boy confronts Zhang Yang, questioning his actions towards Shin-chun, implying her innocence and vulnerability. The boy accuses Zhang Yang of nonsense, believing his actions are self-serving. Zhang Yang feels attacked, expressing pain. Zhang Yang and the boy are told to stop fighting, with a bystander commenting on their conflict and its lack of relevance. Zhang Yang reflects momentarily. Zhang Yang asserts his right to break up, dismissing the boy's moral arguments. The boy retaliates with an insult. Zhang Yang receives a message from Shin-chun threatening to jump unless he meets her in 10 minutes. Shock ensues. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Zhang Yang reacts urgently, prompting concern from the boy. Zhang Yang urgently calls out to Shin-chun on a rooftop, demanding she comes down immediately. Shin-chun insists she won't move until Zhang Yang promises not to break up. The boy overhears and reacts. As Zhang Yang approaches, Shin-chun pleads emotionally for him not to break up with her. In desperation, Shin-chun offers to change and fix her mistakes, yearning to stay with Zhang Yang. Shin-chun reveals he is the only one she has left, clutching a small object tightly. After an intense moment, Zhang Yang calls Shin-chun's mother, stating her daughter almost jumped off a building. Shin-chun is asked if she is still thinking about jumping, clutching her belongings with a heavy heart. Zhang Yang questions Shin-chun's drastic actions, asking why he is so vital to her over her parents. The boy nearby urges kindness from Zhang Yang. Shin-chun expresses a feeling of helplessness, comparing her situation to falling into an abyss without escape. Shin-chun feels emotionally dead, contemplating her limited options, while Zhang Yang extends a need for comfort. Zhang Yang urges Shin-chun to find solace in simple gestures, offering to take her home, while the boy looks on. Shin-chun, overwhelmed, wishes to avoid school, reflecting on a past embrace with Zhang Yang. At home, Shin-chun is called for breakfast, indicating an attempt to return to normalcy. Considering Zhang Yang's preferences, Shin Chun decides to prepare a suitable breakfast for him, reminding herself of their interaction. Zhang Yang calls out to Shin Chun in a gentle manner, hinting at an unresolved connection. Because she is introverted and doesn't talk much, she doesn't have many friends. Boys seem interested in her, and one jokes about her charm. Female classmates don't like her, and one even calls her a name. She is asked to finish cleaning before someone leaves. Her dream is to be with Zhang Yang, who is admired by many, making it hard for ordinary girls to approach him. Despite wanting to talk to Zhang Yang, she struggles with her shyness. One day, he unexpectedly speaks to her. Her dream feels like it's coming true when Zhang Yang asks her to be his girlfriend, leaving her surprised. She feels incredibly happy each day since starting a relationship with Zhang Yang. Despite unpleasant relationships and a boring school life, her time with him gives her life meaning. She dreams of a perfect romance with Zhang Yang and doesn't want to wake up from this dream. She hurries to give Zhang Yang breakfast as class is about to start, but he walks towards the crossing light. Suddenly, there's a honking sound, and she is caught by surprise by an approaching vehicle. There's chaos as people react to her being hit by the vehicle and calls for emergency assistance are made. She is rushed to the emergency room and Zhang Yang accompanies her, urging her to hang in there. In the hospital, she weakly tries to speak, prompting Zhang Yang to ask what she wants to say. Struggling to speak, she asks Zhang Yang if he loves her. Her question becomes more poignant as she asks if Zhang Yang has ever loved her. Tears forming. Outside the first aid room, Zhang Yang is informed by a doctor that he cannot enter. He's left speechless. A doctor confirms Zhang Yang's status as her classmate and tentatively informs him of the situation. Her condition is serious due to an injured aorta and severe blood loss, with no chance of recovery. In disbelief, Zhang Yang confronts the doctor, questioning the severity and demanding a blood transfusion. Zhang Yang insists on giving his blood, but is restrained by hospital staff, insisting on urgency. At her gravesite, Zhang Yang reflects on her accident, noting she was delivering breakfast to him. Accused of not having shed a tear for her, Zhang Yang seems detached, prompting further criticism. Another admits regret over the situation but frustratedly criticizes Zhang Yang's cold demeanor. Deciding to part ways, the other person no longer wishes to follow Zhang Yang, leaving him alone. Haunted by her last question of whether he ever loved her, Zhang Yang recalls their separation. During a past interaction, she asked Zhang Yang not to intervene during a potential fight. She expressed concern over Zhang Yang spending more time with someone else, feeling neglected. Zhang Yang explains his involvement with student union duties, hinting at wanting freedom from their relationship. Though he thought emotions shouldn't weigh on him, he finds himself unable to forget about her. Entering a room, Zhang Yang's thoughts are interrupted by someone calling him and questioning emotional value. A young girl asks Zhang Yang to play, pulling him towards a more tender interaction. Reflecting, Zhang Yang remembers her silent wishes for kindness, grappling with his own feelings. In the moment, Zhang Yang gently reassures the young girl, consenting to her request. Zhang Yang hugs the young girl, telling her not to cry, as emotional barriers are momentarily lifted. Lost in thought, Zhang Yang realizes her final question lingers, evoking deep introspection. In a whimsical scene, Zhang Yang questions starting anew, contemplating lost opportunities for affection. Zhang Yang's background is mentioned as being profound, with characters discussing a girl named Chun who they remember as kind. There is an ongoing dialogue about disbelief in Zhang Yang being as bad as depicted. A female character accuses another of making up stories about Zhang Yang to bring him shame. The male character responds, justifying his actions by saying he doesn't find the story necessary and admits to feeling suffocated by the tension. The male character suggests taking a walk to ease the stuffiness, as depicted by the silent pause and two glasses on the table, symbolizing their unfinished drinks. The female seems to agree, and questions arise about how they manage to reconcile their differences later, though it remains unclear. Walking along the beach under a starlit sky, the male confesses his misunderstanding about someone's love for Shin Chun. He reflects that the person's perceived ruthlessness was due to paternal influence. At school, a character questions whether Dong Lu is absent from the dormitory, showing concern about his whereabouts and welfare. The other character explains to his superior that Dong Li's father was seriously ill, prompting his sudden departure back home, suggesting a sudden family emergency. During a phone call to Dong Lu, they inquire about his father's condition. Dong Lu expresses frustration over the hospital's refusal to provide surgery due to payment issues. Dong Lu faces a financial predicament, needing to pay 100,000 yuan for surgery but is short by 40,000 yuan. Frustrations rise as friends speculate on the hospital's irresponsibility, with small medical centers bearing blame. Dong Lu vents anger at the hospital's shift in priorities and the financial burden placed on him. Friends vow their support to sort out the crisis, easing his anger slightly. In a dilemma regarding his insufficient allowance, one character contemplates confiding in teachers about the monetary issue and considers transferring money confidentially. The boy receives gratitude for yesterday's help at the hospital, where there's an acknowledgement of returning borrowed money, though its source remains discreet. During a casual talk, it's revealed the money came from someone's dad's card, creating confusion as they both realize the name mismatch, suggesting one character used an uncle's card. Amid confusion, one character urges silence over their mistake about the uncle's surname while advising truthfulness in repaying the borrowed amount. As two characters stand on the beach, one has a moment of realization, indicated by their silent posture under the distant stars. The female thinks Zhang Yang isn't cold-hearted, rather very loving, admiring his gentle character, which she believes is mistakenly unrecognized by others. She shares that she's dreamed of marrying Zhang Yang multiple times, visualizing both Western and Chinese-style ceremonies, showing her deep infatuation. Her fantasy extends to having a child soon after their imagined marriage, indicative of her strong feelings which surprise and somewhat stun her friends. Amid teasing about her fantasies, she declares her decision to express her affection during the trip, demonstrating her resolve and lack of shame. While bothered by Zhang Yang's previous love, there's gratitude towards Shenchun for helping him discover his true self, something he respects and cherishes. She reflects on her lack of relationships, expressing hope in being chosen, though she knows another prefers Zhang Yang, adding a layer of emotional conflict. The male character acknowledges the female's feelings for Zhang Yang, confirming his understanding and acceptance of her affections. He admits his own feelings to her, stressing transparency because they are good friends, aiming to minimize any hurt feelings between them. She desires to maintain their friendship without disrupting existing relationships, asserting her capability to preserve harmony among the three of them. The male, still hopeful, urges her not to dismiss his feelings quickly, pondering about a different scenario if they had met first. He suggests that she might fall in love with him over time, holding her gently while she asks for space, highlighting the tension between them. Acknowledging the feelings she harbors, he confesses his affection that developed since they first met, showcasing a deeper emotional bond. He gently insists she only felt a mild warmth from Zhang Yang, contrasting it with the persistent warmth he believes he offers her. Emphasizing his devotion, he questions how her feelings compare against the lasting warmth and affection he is prepared to provide her. The girl suddenly asks the boy to wait. He looks surprised as she pulls away, indicating a sudden change in her emotions. She insists he let her go, emphasizing that despite liking him, she sees him only as a friend and not a potential lover. The boy sternly warns her never to do something again, showing strong emotions while she quietly responds with hesitation. The girl expresses her desire not to become strangers with the boy, indicating she values their relationship despite the tension. In a lively setting, someone addresses the girl cheerfully, offering assistance and calling her gorgeous, making her smile. The girl approaches a food stand, pondering her options while chatting on the phone and requesting a red bean milk tea. A stand attendant assumes the girl might be a model due to her striking appearance, prompting her to react with playful disbelief. She reflects on her transformative journey, attributing her growth to a person named Zhang Yang. A man already bought her the drink she wanted, and she expresses gratitude, thinking of him as exceptional. She blushes, thanking the man known as the director, which causes another to laugh and tease her about her reaction. Feeling flustered, she decides she should make purchases herself in the future to avoid any awkwardness. The girl reflects on an upsetting event, considering that maintaining distance from Zhang Yang might be best for now. A friendly invitation to play beach volleyball comes her way, but she declines due to the heat, while others go ahead. Hearing about the volleyball match, she gets involved as the judge while others prepare for the game. The game begins with excitement as players get ready and one of them gets into position to serve. Amidst the game, one player jokingly teases another about the serve being too soft, causing laughter. A player eagerly volunteers to handle the situation, reacting dramatically to the unexpected softness of the play. An unexpected event shocks one player, leaving them surprised and a bit comically dumbfounded. A character apologizes for a mishap during the game while someone else seems eager to escalate the competitive spirit. The man reacts passionately, claiming his hand slipped, as a humorous yet tense atmosphere builds during the game. The intensity intimidates some, making them not want to continue the match as another encourages them to stop. A young character expresses a desire to leave while the girl tries to comfort another who might have been affected. As one lies on the ground, Gao Ran is called out, but he insists there's something important to say. He wishes not to hinder her happiness, urging her to pursue what she should, as they share a moment. The concern grows as one shouts for another to stay and not leave them, questioning the seriousness of the situation. Determined, the girl declares her intention to confess her feelings to Zhang Yang, but someone warns her about his past. Despite cautions, she argues that it was long ago and trusts her own feelings while another remains protective. As the night of the trip nears its end, the girl asserts this is her last chance to express her feelings, resisting attempts to stop her. Even as she contemplates dating Zhang Yang, she reassures another of her continued love, expressing tender feelings. A character is answering a call while mentioning they were taking a shower and asks about the situation regarding Dong Lu. The character acknowledges the conversation positively and expresses appreciation before ending the call. Gao Ran is knocking on the door, asking if the director is inside, urging them to open the door. A female character appears flustered and calls someone a bad guy. The character looks shocked and questions if the woman is drunk. She denies it and insists she wants to say something. The woman asks if the man realizes how amazing he is, noting his elegance and good shape, labeling it as illegal. She continues to praise him, mentioning his intelligence and competence, saying it's not fair. He thanks her for the compliment. The man notices the woman's nose is bleeding. She waves it off, claiming she's fine. Both characters are on the floor, and the woman complains about being hurt. She accuses him of being a kiss fanatic, referencing Dong Lu, and criticizes him for kissing someone else. She says having someone else in his heart is illegal, while he questions who is actually illegal. The woman wonders nervously if the man is about to kiss her. Her heart is racing as she questions his motives, recalling that it happened before. Despite her doubts, she admits to herself she wants his kiss, feeling strongly about Zhang Yang. The man contemplates, fearing he might become the bad guy if he kisses her, deciding to adhere to his original plan. He asks Gao Ran to open her eyes, admitting past mistakes but asserting his seriousness about relationships now. He urges her to rest due to her drunken state, mentioning their flight the next morning and offers to send her back. Gao Ran insists she's okay, refusing help. In a scene, others gossip about the woman's appearance and speculate about her potential relationship with Zhang Yang. Gao Ran attempts to laugh off feeling pathetic, but it's clear the comments have affected her. She enters a room, feeling upset that he didn't kiss her, wondering if she lacks charm. He apologizes, saying that's not what he meant. She cries, confessing she can't stop loving him despite the hopelessness others see. She expresses frustration over efforts to change herself for his attention, questioning what else she can do. Gao Ran apologizes, asking him to forget about the day as she leaves, feeling distraught over her efforts being unnoticed. As she tries to leave, she is stopped suddenly with a kiss. After the kiss, he apologizes, not wanting her to think he's irresponsible. He reassures her that she is the cutest girl he knows. He tells her she is noble and pure, urging her to never degrade herself again. The next day, Xiang Hong and Gao Ran discuss the previous night, and she wonders if it was all a dream. Zhang Yang seems contemplative and recalls the moment when Gao Ran became unconscious from their kiss, debating whether to continue or not. Another character calls Zhang Yang a scumbag, witnessing him carrying Gao Ran back to her room. At the airport, Gao Ran hesitantly asks Zhang Yang about the previous night, concerned if anything happened. Zhang Yang looks amused and asks what she means, leading her to awkwardly brush it off. As she walks away embarrassed, Zhang Yang assures her, saying he will initiate when the time is right. A new scene shows family arriving, and Xiang Hong asks about the brother. Gao Ran explains witnessing how he treats women. Xiang Hong praises Zhang Yang for deeply caring for them, calling him a good man. The group gathers at the airport with a sister calling out to Gao Ran, signifying they're ready to leave. A model with red hair walks confidently down the runway. Mr. Li is asked about the origin of this model, praised for his good temperament and appearance. The red-haired model's name is Dong Lu, borrowed from Mr. Guo. There is concern about his bright look potentially clashing with the design's theme. However, after meeting Dong Lu, it is realized that his appearance perfectly suits the Dark Knight style. He shows versatility, refusing to be limited to one style. It's humorously noted that he might have had a different mood when the photo was taken. Dong Lu washes his face, contemplating his feelings. He likes someone, but only as friends, not lovers. Dong Lu doesn't want them to become strangers despite this confession, reflecting on the situation with concern. As he leaves, friends suggest taking a taxi, but Dong Lu insists on saving money by catching the last bus. He stands at the bus stop, reminding himself to focus on earning money and not let emotions for a girl deter him. Dong Lu enters an empty bus and hears a buzzing noise. Looking at his phone, he sees a message from Gao Ran, which surprises him. Realizing it was just a mass text, Dong Lu feels slightly disappointed. Waking up hungry, Dong Lu considers inviting Gao Ran for a morning run and breakfast. Suddenly, he receives a call from Mr. Guo. Mr. Guo informs Dong Lu that he no longer needs to come to the company. This news catches Dong Lu off guard. Mr. Guo reassures Dong Lu that he did nothing wrong. Instead, a new opportunity is being offered to him abroad as a chef for a friend's restaurant. Dong Lu suspects Zhang Yang had a hand in arranging this unexpected opportunity. His suspicion of Zhang Yang is confirmed, and emotions flare as he processes this realization. Dong Lu rushes into a building, disregarding warnings from an office worker not to enter the director's office. Bursting in, Dong Lu is determined to confront the director despite possibly getting someone else in trouble. Facing Director Zhang, Dong Lu questions why he is being hurried away, demanding an explanation. The director assures Dong Lu he is not being permanently sent away and can return anytime. Dong Lu accuses the director of controlling his life, arguing that the opportunity abroad feels like charity following rejection in love. Doubting the director's confidence, Dong Lu claims the director fears a rival in love. He asserts understanding the woman in question deeply, refusing to leave. He insists he won't give up now, believing the director underestimates the shared bond with the woman they both care for. Directed to consider what else he has in the city, Dong Lu declares he has nothing now, challenging the director's motives. Despite being reminded of his lack of current possessions, Dong Lu reacts defiantly, warning against self-righteousness. An argument erupts, causing commotion, and Mr. Guo's commanding presence brings authority to the situation. A humorous moment ensues as a book hits Mr. Guo's face, leading him to delegate calming the situation. Attempts to mediate focus on encouraging peaceful dialogue rather than conflict. In an emotional response, Dong Lu states that the person he quarreled with is not, nor will ever be, a friend. Zhang Yang is asked if he has ever regarded someone as a friend, urging self-reflection. The conversation takes place in a formal setting. One character asserts that the relationship has never been equal, leading another character to express a lack of respect in the interaction. The red-haired character compares himself to a dog, lamenting that his sincere attempts at friendship result in even worse treatment. The blonde character is called out for offering the cheapest payout, while the red-haired one rejects charity, wanting nothing to do with any arrangements. The view shifts, focusing on one character's eye before another person asks for an explanation. The character with white hair expresses a desire to be alone, politely asking the other to leave. The restaurant is identified as Rui Restaurant, with an elderly person observing that someone has been sleeping there for some time. A suggestion is made to use the sleeping person's phone to call a friend, as the contact list includes someone marked as My Goddess. There's an encouragement to be more charming, aligning with a yearning for connection with the goddess. A confident woman in a purple dress is capturing attention, while the surrounding environment is lively with activity. The woman is informed that the photo shoot is over and she is reassured that she performed well without causing any trouble. Delighted about appearing in a fashion magazine, the woman ponders unforeseen opportunities, considering upcoming challenges. She wonders about confessing to Zhang Yang, reflecting on a previously failed attempt due to drinking too much. The woman concludes that practical preparation isn't needed for her confession, deciding that a surprise is more suitable. Full of confidence, she resolves to confess her feelings to Zhang Yang the next time they meet, promising herself not to fail. Startled by her ringing phone, she picks up to hear Dong Lu on the other end, surprised by the call. The woman receives an inquiry about being a friend of the phone's owner, which captures her attention. She repeats the name Rui Restaurant and quickly heads to the location, determined to find the person in question. Arriving at the restaurant, she asks if her friend is present and is informed that they couldn't wake him up. The elderly couple expresses admiration for the woman's appearance, jokingly suggesting she could be part of a cute couple with the man. As she embraces Dong Lu, she tries to wake him, expressing her concern about his well-being. Tired from supporting him, she hears him mention Gao Ran as he awakens, and she feels grateful for his recovery. Curious about Dong Li's heavy drinking, she remains attentive, attempting to flag a taxi for them both. She offers him water, noting his usually cheerful disposition and the unfamiliarity of his current state. Dong Lu laughs off the situation but admits his feelings of being accustomed to such lows. Grappling with comparisons to Zhang Yang, Dong Lu reflects on feeling inadequate and losing life's race from the start. Recalling childhood struggles, Dong Lu remembers being mocked for patched clothes and the hardship of borrowing money. Despite feeling powerless, his family taught him to overcome unpleasantness with laughter and maintain dignity. Dong Lu voices his desire to establish himself independently in the city before pursuing his goals, resisting being dismissed on others' terms. Acknowledging potential misunderstandings, the woman assures Dong Lu of her support and offers to speak on his behalf tomorrow. Seeking reassurance, Dong Lu confirms the woman's reluctance to see him leave, while she emphasizes her indifference to others but not to him. She reassures him of her care and support while a taxi arrives to take them home. Advising him not to dwell on upsetting thoughts, she tells him to sleep well, promising to resolve matters the next day. Surprised by an unexpected hug, she momentarily struggles but eventually accepts the gesture. The scene opens with a passionate moment under the stars. A man with red hair embraces a woman and pulls her into a kiss. She seems to resist, her thoughts screaming for it to stop. The woman struggles, telling Dong Lu to release her. Her frustration peaks as she calls him a pervert, ending in a slap across his face. Shocked, she processes that this was her first kiss. Overcome with emotions, she scolds Dong Lu, demanding the return of her first kiss. Elsewhere, Zhang Yang is lost in thought, questioning whether he has ever truly been treated as a friend. As Zhang Yang reflects on a relationship that has never been equal, he stands by the railing, pondering. A phone call interrupts Zhang Yang's thoughts. As he answers, he listens intently, focusing on the conversation. The woman explains to Zhang Yang that Dong Lu is drunk and she has just arranged a taxi to take him home. She notes the impropriety of entering his room alone. She hesitates to visit Dong Li's room for fear of his actions and asks Zhang Yang to come to prevent misunderstandings. He agrees to come over and she is relieved. Observing Dong Lu, she considers Zhang Yang's involvement as a chance to mend their relationship while she schemes efficiently. Dong Lu, on his part, speaks about her feelings towards Zhang Yang, yet insists she has feelings for him as well. He urges her to admit it, sensing her conflicted emotions. He suggests they give their relationship a try, despite her prior reservations. She reflects on how that kiss was supposed to be saved for Zhang Yang. Filled with mixed emotions, she contemplates drastic actions against Dong Lu as he sits obliviously. When they sit side by side, she recalls the days of their shared training, expressing a longing for those times. The scene shifts, revealing the city skyline under a starry night, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. As Zhang arrives, she exclaims in surprise, asking if he ran all the way there. Zhang Yang clarifies his location, having been nearby when she called about Dong Li's situation at the restaurant. Noticing her appearance, Zhang Yang compliments her, causing her heart to flutter while she wakes up the still slumbering Dong Lu with a chuckle. Zhang Yang and the woman support Dong Lu together. She inquires about any misunderstandings with Zhang, but he focuses on whether Dong Lu caused her any trouble. She quickly assures Zhang Yang that nothing happened between her and Dong Lu, dismissing any concerns he might have. The scene transitions to them entering indoors while Zhang Yang tells her to wait outside. Donglu is placed on a bed, still unconscious. Zhang Yang, holding a belt, humorously contemplates drastic measures against Donglu for his antics. As Donglu murmurs in his sleep, she considers a bold confession to Zhang Yang as they return. Determined, she practices her lines, planning to express her feelings to Zhang Yang. Zhang Yang sits with Donglu, who is still unconscious, as she prepares to confess her longtime crush and love for Zhang Yang. Unexpectedly, Donglu, in his sleep, confesses a crush and love for Gao Ran, triggering awkwardness. Zhang Yang is baffled by Dong Li's statement, questioning its truth as the woman stands in shock. She resolves to take decisive action and considers kissing someone to resolve her inner turmoil. Her steps are purposeful and filled with determination as she approaches, leading to a tense encounter. Zhang Yang erupts in anger at Donglu, expressing his frustration using colorful language. A girl is feeling determined and exclaims to herself that she is ready for something important. She encourages herself with enthusiasm and then suggests to Zhang Yang that they should probably leave. A white-haired boy is interrupted with someone yelling at Zhang Yang, calling him an idiot, while another voice shouts, "Hey!" The girl questions why her path of love is so difficult, expressing frustration as she runs off. The white-haired boy, upset, hits his bed in frustration, exclaiming, "Damn it," and then calls out for someone named Gao Ran. He listens to a phone message informing him that the subscriber is currently busy. A red-haired man receives a cup of coffee with gratitude while working at a cafe. Confused and injured, the red-haired man wonders about the previous night and why he feels so physically hurt. He muses on whether the injuries are serious, only to be surprised when he recognizes someone as a coincidence enters. Someone greets Donglu, mentioning it's been a long time since they last saw each other. They're having a conversation, with the visitor asking Donglu if he could meet someone who isn't in a good condition. Meanwhile, at a mental rehabilitation center, someone cries out in frustration. A woman in a hospital gown demands to be let out, leading to a brief scuffle where she gets slapped. Another woman with long hair insists on having minor plastic surgery, pleading to be let out. The nurse chides the woman with harsh words, who responds angrily, feeling disrespected and hurt. The long-haired woman struggles against hospital staff, insisting she needs treatment. But there's news about a visitor named Donglu. She reacts fiercely, yelling to get out as she refuses to see anyone. Donglu stands at the locked door, confused about the trouble she's causing again. He introduces himself and kindly asks Miss Lu Fei to open the door, ready to apologize. He expresses his sorrow outside her room, but Miss Lu Fei remains silent, seated in isolation. Observers note that Miss Lu Fei is so embarrassed she avoids meeting people. Donglu, standing outside, tells Lu Fei he is leaving the city and urges her to cooperate with her treatment to overcome her issues. He praises her past achievements, reminding her of her rise to becoming a popular model and how captivating she is. He encourages her to continue, promising to support her while advising her to trust others and be less defensive. As Donglu walks away, someone reflects on Lu Fei's competitive nature and mentions trying to persuade her as well. Sadly, it's acknowledged that Lu Fei's first trusted person was Donglu, and she sheds tears as she processes her feelings. The girl reflects on a misunderstanding about the previous night, realizing Donglu was probably drunk. She considers Xiang Hong's comment on people in fashion design often being gay. As a taxi arrives, a woman named Gao Ran apologizes for being late due to traffic. She addresses the arriving figure as Wang Ye. Wang Ye, amazed by Gao Ran's presence, exclaims about her beauty and height. He mentions it's more exciting to see her in person than in photos. Gao Ran introduces herself, stating she just arrived. Wang Ye is impressed by her demeanor and gentle nature. Wang Ye expresses his admiration and formally introduces himself as Yaya, Gao Ran's personal agent and attendant. Gao Ran expresses a desire to be friends and hopes for a good relationship. They proceed quickly to board the plane as time is short. Gao Ran receives a sudden call from Zhang Yang, causing her to react with urgency. On the phone, Gao Ran is advised to walk while talking as only 10 minutes remain before departure. Zhang Yang confirms she has met Yaya. Zhang Yang appears hesitant, wanting to ask about her relationship with Donglu. Gao Ran expects him to discuss business instead. Zhang Yang contemplates Gao Ran's thoughts on him. His colleague advises him to be direct and dismisses pretenses. Zhang Yang prepares to board the plane, addressing a previous misunderstanding. His colleague jokes about his discomfort, prompting an annoyed reaction. Sitting on the plane, Gao Ran berates herself for lacking courage to ask questions, wondering about her next move. Yaya encourages Gao Ran to set aside her worries and focus on the upcoming audition, emphasizing the importance of rest. Yaya reassures Gao Ran about the arrangements made for the audition, boosting her confidence with camaraderie. Gao Ran realizes a mix-up at the hotel. Yaya apologizes for the mistake in their arrangements. Gao Ran questions Yaya's prior assurance that everything was sorted. As they arrive at the incorrect hotel, they worry about being late. Inside, people notice a woman who is speculated to be the Miss World. Gao Ran recalls advice from Zhang Yang about maintaining her public image and strives to appear elegant despite her fatigue. Arriving first among candidates, Gao Ran receives her room card. She questions how they manage to be late when others are also extraordinary. Gao Ran learns about the prestigious A.J brand audition and reflects on her own position compared to industry names. Yaya introduces a popular online celebrity, Rose, who boasts a massive fan following on social media. Rose comments on the competition's intensity, critiquing Gao Ran's ordinary attire as they exchange introductions. Rose shows off her flashy attire, scrutinizing Gao Ran's public image, to which Gao Ran inquires about her ring's brand. Feeling dismissed, Gao Ran decides not to engage further. Yaya notices the pungent perfume overshadowing Rose's critique. A new character questions someone's choice in flashy attire, seemingly mocking their fashion taste. Yaya identifies the new character as Kevin, known for his critical remarks in fashion shows. Kevin taunts Gao Ran, implying her sponsors are unimpressive, despite her stylish appearance. Continuing the exchange, Kevin challenges Gao Ran's status, hinting at her lack of fame without her sponsors. Gao Ran learns about the cost of Rose's handbag, feeling out of place in financial terms and noticing Kevin addressing her. She looks slightly apprehensive when responding to Kevin's attention. Gao Ran finds Kevin's presence surprisingly comforting, while Yaya acknowledges the competition's strength. Gao Ran talks with Yaya about feeling more energized for the competition, reminding herself of her capabilities. Yaya humorously suggests Gao Ran should boost her own morale as they prepare for the audition. During makeup, Gao Ran opts for a natural look, which Yaya supports by suggesting a norm or style idea. Yaya is intrigued about another idea for Gao Ran's look, while elsewhere, Zhang Yang immerses in busy work. Zhang Yang plans a surprise for Gao Ran while handling other responsibilities, feeling quite occupied. Meanwhile, Dongla plans to assist Lu Fei in leaving the mental hospital before departing the city. The scene transitions to indicate a planned action has been executed as intended. Gao Ran checks her appearance in the mirror, confirming it's what she wanted before heading onward. A woman finds her shirt too tight, almost cutting into her flesh, and comments on its overly simple style. A man questions Miss Rose about not removing her earrings. She asserts she won't take them off and muses about the plain design styles. As a man bumps into her, the woman exclaims about the basic style seen everywhere and gets hurt, wondering who's nearby. After the collision, a man catches her and advises caution while walking. Impressed by his looks, she asks where he's headed. He responds, revealing his participation in a brand ambassador competition. Surprised by his identity, she reacts to his choice of wearing men's clothing, and he compliments her assertively. The woman acknowledges his handsomeness but critiques his lack of original style, hinting she's confident about winning. Another character reassures Gao Ran, praising her unique style and asserting she's looking better than the other woman. Gao Ran, unfazed by the woman's comments, listens as Yaya expresses admiration for her, stating a pledge to support her. Yaya silently vows to follow Gao Ran. Director Lee confirms a candidate's recommendation by Mr. Gu, noting Mr. Gu's delayed arrival. Evaluating a model, Director Lee acknowledges his qualities but mentions the model's distinct characteristics. A remark is made about a woman with noticeable features. Dismissing her style as unsuitable, the evaluator elaborates on women's fashion, identifying her as wearing men's clothes. Impressed by her artistic demeanor, Director Lee anticipates reviewing the pictures. Participants are instructed to prepare for the runway. Yaya and another character notice a potential star at the door, revealed to be their last competitor, an international movie star. The star arrives late, possibly with a personal photographer, as her high status is acknowledged. Gao Ran reflects on the competitor's influential background while another character questions the necessity of such advantages. A male character challenges Gao Ran's views on self-earned titles, questioning the merit behind them. He doubts Gao Ran's ability to confront a strong opponent, alluding to her reliance on supporters for past victories. Two figures appear in Gao Ran's thoughts, suggesting acknowledgement of her supporters' roles. As Gao Ran contemplates the competition's outcome, she questions the purpose behind the apparent spectacle. Her contemplation deepens, focusing on the motivation behind the ongoing events. Gao Ran notices an incoming video call from Zhang Yang. On video call, Gao Ran is greeted warmly by her sibling, prompting playful remarks. Gao Ran accepts the compliments and inquires about her brother's situation. Her brother advises her to focus on doing her best in the competition, disregarding the final result. He explains the competition's underlying corporate motives and reassures her about gaining experience rather than winning. Acknowledging her director's friendship, he emphasizes gaining experience, advising her to enjoy the competition's journey. Her sibling encourages her to stay cheerful, affirming her worth regardless of the outcome. Overwhelmed by her sibling's affection, Gao Ran feels loved and sweetly expresses her gratitude. A young woman blushes and expresses affection with hearts surrounding her head. Meanwhile, her brother seems surprised and asks what she is doing. The woman holds a phone showing Director Zhang, who questions if she has anything else to ask. She reacts with surprise, calling out to Director Zhang and apologizing for her previous action, explaining it was difficult to resist. Director Zhang, appearing somewhat indifferent, reiterates his question, asking if there are any other questions she wants to ask him. The woman contemplates asking about the relationship with Dong Lu but assumes Director Zhang refers to work-related questions. She then inquires about his understanding of norm or style while another character chimes in, finding her brother's behavior annoying. The woman explains her choice to dress neutrally, aiming to diminish gender differences, and reflects on her expressionlessness when recently photographed. Director Zhang describes normcore as a minimalist design that ignores women's body shapes. Continuing the discussion, Director Zhang states that normcore acknowledges the sacredness and inviolability of women, yet appears lukewarm. The woman adds that restraint and asceticism differ from expressionlessness, and designers sometimes convey more through minimalist styles. Director Zhang elaborates on minimalism, stating it depends on personal perception and performance, offering more void and space for imagination. The woman agrees, thanking him for his insightful guidance. The woman reflects on her thoughts about Zhang Yang, describing him with traits like abstinence and creative space. She admits to thinking about him throughout the day. Another scene unfolds on a runway where a character questions the sudden need for a runway walk. A conversation reveals that a star was late, which led to someone else getting a chance. Others speculate there's possibly only one person with experience, given the circumstances. Gao Ran is asked for tips on walking the runway, advising relaxation and commenting on the fit of Rose's shirt. Two individuals remark on someone scrutinizing the group earlier. Rose is reassured her attire is fine and she is advised to maintain a natural expression to the rhythm of the music. On the runway, a figure confidently walks as someone questions their identity. A boss confirms she was added by another suggestion. Observers contemplate her professional demeanor, commenting on her lack of typical sex appeal and comparing her unfavorably to Rose. Despite critiques, the boss notes her style aligns with the theme, though humorous preferences for Rose's appearance are vocalized. Affirmations about Rose's attractiveness are interrupted by a wardrobe malfunction, causing concern among the observers, noted by someone's nosebleed reaction. Reflecting on past advice, regret is expressed for not adhering to Gao Ran's warnings as the runway walk continues. Attention shifts to another character speculated to have been suggested by Mr. Gu. Concerns arise regarding the individual's demeanor and tattoo display. A plea for help is made as a character discusses surprise over having more candidates than expected, expressing gratitude for the unexpected situation. In a different setting, inquiries about a delay are made as two characters sit in what seems to be a well-appointed room. One is occupied with a tablet. A character explains being unprepared for an unexpected runway request but feels reassured by the presence of the other individual. A warm exchange follows as one character questions their capability and receives confirmation in response, sharing a moment of camaraderie. A young man tells a woman that the results won't be available for a few days as they walk together in a modern building. He suggests that she can go back and rest. Checking his phone, the young man mentions needing to prepare for a cruise party happening in 3 days. The woman, surprised, inquires about the cruise party. The young man, waving goodbye, promises that she will find out soon, and she playfully protests, asking him not to keep her guessing as she looks at her phone. Inside an airport, someone speaks on the phone, letting Seong Hong know they just arrived and haven't forgotten the birthday, reassuring Seong Hong to wait for them. In a high-rise cityscape, someone requests director Zhang's signature inside an office building overseeing the urban skyline. A person admires a beautiful evening dress designed by director Zhang for a woman named Gao Ran, describing it as lovely, elegant, and fresh. A white-haired man questions whether they invited too many people while noting the beauty of the dress. Nearby, he warns another not to touch it. Firmly, the white-haired man instructs the other person not to touch anything in the room without permission. The other apologizes, appearing nervous and embarrassed. In a tense moment, the white-haired man reacts harshly, causing the other to fall and profusely apologize, indicating their blunder with the dress. With frustration, the white-haired man criticizes the other for being clumsy and tells them to leave. The other person complies, acknowledging the order. At a karaoke box, someone reminisces about missing singing for a long time, indicating excitement and a night fulfilled with singing. A group of women excited about singing is informed by a staff member about an elevator malfunction and directed to use the other one. They express gratitude for the warning. The grateful group leaves for fun, but one mentions needing to visit the toilet. Meanwhile, a young man enters a separate elevator. Standing confidently in the elevator, the young man believes a request from Seong Hong shows acceptance, noting he must make an impression tonight. The elevator suddenly stops, leaving the young man confused as he realizes it's not moving, and he calls out for assistance. In the karaoke room, a woman wonders where a man named Lin Fan is, as his phone is off. Her friend asks why she cares about the teacher, leading to a defensive reply. The trapped young man panics, fearing Seong Hong will be sad if he misses the event, worried about being abandoned. 2 hours pass while others leave the room. 2 women are in a car heading home while one receives a call. The young man explains being stuck in the elevator without a signal. She tells him it's late, implying displeasure. The woman sternly remarks that he wouldn't be late if he cared, criticizing his misplaced priorities regarding their agreed time, while her friend notices something amiss in their ride. The friend questions the driver about going in the wrong direction and why he remains silent. Both women feel uneasy and seek clarity from the driver. In a moving car, 2 characters are trying to communicate with the driver, asking if they're headed towards the suburban district in the north of the city. 2 men outside react excitedly, noting that the boss has finally brought girls and are eager to see one of them come out to show herself. A woman inside the car realizes they shouldn't have taken an unlicensed taxi and contemplates calling the police as she frantically texts someone on her phone. The driver aggressively demands something from the pink-haired girl in the car, grabbing at her forcefully while she exclaims in surprise. A man confronts Seong with her phone, ordering her to come out if she wants to call the police. Ran, concerned, urges Seong to return. The men comment on her height and appearance as they address her. The pink-haired girl, now outside the vehicle, defiantly warns the men not to touch Seong, indicating a fierce determination to protect her. She boldly declares that if anyone dares to harm Seong, she will retaliate. The men, somewhat amused by her spunk, comment on her feisty nature, but caution her against being too aggressive. Seong urgently calls Ran to her side, asking Seong Hong to remain cautious. The urgency and tension are palpable as they aim to defend themselves. A reflective moment recalls words from a yearbook, emphasizing the importance of joining for a strong footing in school, hinting at a deeper bond or strategy between them. Seong warns others not to disrespect her favor, though she struggles with self-doubt about fighting. Observers question since when bad girls gain such confidence. Seong firmly tells another to stop shouting in class, declaring her unwelcome. A confrontation arises, escalating with an unexpected slap, asserting authority. Surprised by the action, Seong Hong considers it a warning. One is reminded not to overestimate abilities and advised to avoid unnecessary risks. A chaotic classroom scene unfolds as the pink-haired girl impetuously grabs another's hair, resulting in a commotion with escalating demands to stop. The intensity rises as the pink-haired girl warns they'll regret their actions, threatening to tear out hair unless they leave, displaying fierce protectiveness. Overwhelmed by the confrontation, the others decide to leave, expressing frustration and pain, realizing the serious resolve of their opponents. In a moment of respite, Xiang receives gratitude, seen as awesome for her actions. There's a sense of appreciation and camaraderie from others. Expressing admiration, the pink-haired girl acknowledges Xiang's internal kindness, hinting at a developing friendship or deeper bond between them. Xiang offers protection, inviting the girl to hold her arm, solidifying their alliance. The girl reflects on finally having a reliable person by her side. In a final commitment, Gao Ran silently affirms her agreement or acceptance, indicating a sense of belonging or decision reached between them. Revisiting the intense moment, the girl is shown bleeding, with others commenting on her dire state. They consider backing off, noting her willingness to fight. The injured girl is embraced by Xiang, showing solidarity. Others recognize her determination, wary of pushing further against her resolve. The scene closes triumphantly as Xiang steps in, declaring it her turn to protect her friend, emphasizing her dedication and the strength of their bond. Two men advise their boss to leave because he's wounded. A determined woman nearby watches them, acknowledging the tough situation and the trouble they're in. A group of 3 men stands in front of a woman, expressing disappointment that she has been confronting them for so long. One man declares they aren't giving up and won't fear a woman. A man in uniform suggests knocking the woman out for their amusement. She warns him not to make things difficult. He responds aggressively, indicating his hostility. A woman urgently steps in, demanding to know what one of them is doing and insists they leave the others alone. The woman identifies Lin Fan, showing concern. Another woman, also injured and on the ground, is mentioned as Lin Fan and Xiang Hong are together. Observing an injured woman with a head wound, one of the women points out it's crucial to take her to the hospital immediately. The urgency in her voice is clear. Lin Fan appears concerned about Xiang Hong and mentions they have gotten help. Meanwhile, the others wonder about the presence of a seemingly skinny boy. A man in uniform questions how their location was discovered despite withdrawing location sharing. He wonders if someone saw a message in those few seconds. Lin Fan confronts the culprit, asking if he was responsible for the woman's state. The man comments on the youth's lack of education, tauntingly. The man threatens to teach Lin Fan a lesson, but Lin Fan responds confidently, expressing fury that they dared to harm Xiang Hong. Lin Fan boldly states that the man can't manage his manner, indicating his confidence and readiness to confront the situation. The uniformed man, drenched in sweat, collapses with a flop. The encounter leaves him visibly shaken. At a hospital, a person asks for the location of ward number 8. They are directed to the 3rd room on the right, looking for someone. A woman, visibly affected, receives a visit from Gao Ran, who shows concern for her well-being. Zhang Yang inquires if she is okay and she admits fault, regretting her decision regarding the unlicensed situation. Feeling guilty, the woman tearfully expresses her regret for not protecting someone, overwhelmed by her perceived failure. Gao Ran comforts her, advising her not to blame herself, providing a sense of relief and support in her emotional turmoil. Another character wants to know about the criminals. They learn that some were caught, but 2 managed to escape. There's a resolve to handle this the following day. In the morning, there's a scene at the hospital where someone inquires if they are friends of Xiang Hong, indicating ongoing concern. The doctor reassures that Xiang Hong has passed the critical stage and will wake up soon, leading to relief and joy among the friends. The woman admits her previous fear but feels reassured now. Despite her fright, the natural embrace with Zhang Yang surprises her, hinting at a closer bond. Zhang Yang asks about her fear, and she references Lin Fan's frightening demeanor the previous day, still unsettled by the encounter. The woman struggles to describe Lin Fan's intimidating presence but is told that's who he is, highlighting his special character traits and strength. A thankful woman acknowledges Lin Fan's timely intervention, crediting him for being able to save them and doing a commendable job. Observing the situation, someone believes that Xiang Hong won't blame Lin Fan anymore, indicating a shift in their perception and trust towards him. A woman in a hospital corridor is on the phone, informing someone named Dong Lo that she is currently in the hospital but reassures them that everything is fine now. She tells the person on the phone not to worry and insists they don't need to come, asserting that she is fine. Despite this, She ultimately decides she will need to meet the person later. In a room, two girls are startled awake. One girl asks Seong Hong if she just woke up and teases her about sleeping next to her, joking about having her face sprayed with snot. The girl named Ran, confused about her surroundings, asks why she's there and where the bad guys are. Seong Hong assures her that everything's okay and mentions the troublemakers have been dealt with. When asked how she feels, Seong Hong admits to feeling pain after the question but receives reassurance to take some time to rest. Seong Hong expresses relief that Ran is all right and shows excitement that she's finally awake. Ran wonders if Seong Hong is the one who saved them. Ran praises Lin Fan's actions from the previous day as impressive but modestly insists on keeping a low profile. She's grateful and decides to thank Lin Fan for his help. She questions how they found them since the message was withdrawn. Seong Hong is touched and a bit incredulous, asking if it was really at that moment that he remembered her. Lin Fan expresses how significant she is to him. Seong Hong is told that her phone calls will be checked immediately, and Lin Fan shares that he would feel tormented if there were any delays, as she means everything to him. Lin Fan, holding her hand, comments on the fancy words and promises directed towards Seong Hong. She recalls inviting him for her birthday, leading to a bittersweet moment. Seong Hong remembers inviting him on her birthday, but something went unsaid. The scene cuts to Lin Fan wishing her a happy birthday, which seems to carry much emotion. The woman worries about meeting Dong Lu and contemplates leaving before things become awkward. An image of her with Dong Lu brings mixed feelings as she considers escaping the situation. She grapples with whether she should ignore Dong Lu or indirectly show her feelings. Convinced that escaping is the best plan, she prepares to leave. Suddenly, as she tries to depart, Dong Lu catches up with her, unexpectedly pinning her against the wall. Their meeting seems inevitable now. Dong Lu checks in to see if she is okay after their encounter, and she responds affirmatively, expressing gratitude for his concern. Dong Lu states that he's relieved to see her well because he actually came to say goodbye, suggesting that his departure is imminent. The farewell raises questions and emotions as Dong Lu explains he's been offered a job in another city, making it likely that he will not return for some time. Dong Lu leaves open-ended the possibility of returning during the holidays but admits he might not come back at all, leaving her with a deep sense of uncertainty. She can't believe Dong Lu is leaving again, and in frustration and desperation, she confronts him emotionally about their unresolved feelings. She pleads with Dong Lu to stay, questioning the significance of his new job location. Dong Lu poses a question about love, leaving her reflective. Dong Lu inwardly acknowledges his deep feelings, but can't openly express them, imagining her praise and wishes for his future from earlier. Ran, with a smile, congratulates him on his new venture and wishes him success, concealing any personal disappointment or sadness. Reflecting on the situation, she expresses resignation, wondering internally if things could have been different. Observers note that they make a good pair. In anticipation of Dong Li's departure, she inquires about his schedule and is surprised to learn he's leaving the following afternoon. She wrestles with inner turmoil about wanting him to stay but cannot bring herself to say it, so she focuses on the professional aspect, urging herself to concentrate on work. They both acknowledge the circumstances, sharing a short exchange of goodbyes as the conversation comes to a natural close. As Dong Lu walks away, she wonders why she's crying, trying to convince herself that they will see each other again despite the uncontrollable emotions. At a restaurant, a conversation unfolds about finding someone associated with a person known for wearing a green hat. Assurances are given that this task won't be difficult. The prominent character is questioned on his motivations, revealing that his actions stem from caring about those close to him. Holding his phone, the character appears contemplative, engaging in brief text exchanges, hinting at the importance of these connections. The same character is then seen outside the first municipal high school, possibly contemplating his next steps or abating previous tensions. A customer at the counter asks for a packet of cigarettes costing 3 yuan. The shopkeeper informs him that the cheapest option is now 5 yuan. The young man agrees to buy the cigarette, indicating his choice with a simple acknowledgement. While smoking, he reflects on a relationship by stating that a certain individual is not and never will be his friend. Mid-smoke, another person demands water from him and the young man refuses to share it. The person reassures him, saying it's okay, but the young man becomes irritated and warns about discarding the cigarette but, noting its expense, the young man pulls the other person up, offering a different cigarette instead, suggesting to not waste it. As they stand together, one advises the other to try a 3 yuan cigarette, sometimes receiving a terse command to be quiet in response. The young man smokes and internally complains about the awful taste of the cigarette. Reflecting on a past decision to quit smoking, he is questioned about searching for memories by a nearby person. He mentions leaving the next day but not as previously planned, asserting his independence. The man reveals he has secured a job in a city, receiving a skeptical response. While discussing his future intentions, he insists on not giving up on a person named Gao Ran while also asking for some money. He boasts about his future fame and suggests lending him money would be honorable, leading to a playful interaction. His friend requests a farewell visit the next afternoon, but he declines, predicting no one else will visit him. At K-City Airport, a woman expresses her internal conflict about appearing to care. Concerned about being recognized, she observes her surroundings, drawing attention for her appearance. Two stylish young men gain attention for their looks as they stand beside a car. The woman notices the young men she recognizes and reacts with surprise. The young man mentions Gao Ran's claimed absence, suspecting she secretly wants to see him. Facing reluctance, the young man refuses to embrace his friend on her behalf before departing. As they bid farewell, the friend playfully expresses deep emotion, leaving the young man exasperated. The woman ponders their complex relationship, deciding to question him once he departs. With determination, he internally demands the other to leave, though he feels on the brink of tears. Both display a mix of sarcasm and sincerity while saying goodbye, one forbidding future failures. Reflecting on the need to lead a good life, the narrator takes a moment to remember the wayward nature of the friend. Reminiscing about shared moments, it's noted that the friend made significant decisions unilaterally. Acknowledging emotional exhaustion, the friend has always been cherished despite the inability to sever ties. If circumstances force separation, the sadness is mutual, driven by the need for personal growth. At the airport, a woman looks forward to a reunion, seemingly speaking to someone unseen. The woman hears her name, Gao Ran, and looks around in surprise to identify the caller. The caller repeats her name with determination, hinting at a deeper connection. A confrontation arises as he questions her covert presence, catching her off guard. Confident in his perceptive abilities, the young man leads her away to discuss matters. During their walk, Gao Ran questions the director about his relationship with Dong Lu. An urgent phone call interrupts them, leaving her curious about the ongoing situation. A man bursts into a room, demanding answers about not being chosen as the final ambassador. Indifferent to the interruption, superior figures dismiss the man from their presence. At a desk, the man expresses confusion over being considered yet not chosen, seeking clarity. The superior faces him boldly, declaring independence in his decisions without needing prior consultation.